Hello everyone, welcome. Today we're going to be playing Enthusia Professional Racing today. It's been a little while since we've last played it. With the drive, the beautiful NA Miata with the pop-up headlights. Very nice car, and the beautiful red as well. I love my NA Miatas. The NB is my current favorite chassis, though, of the four generations. But all of them are very nice. Definitely like all of them. I think they're really cool cars. I love the lightweight nature of them. Very pretty cars. So we're gonna be getting right into it. We're gonna be diving right into our beautiful Miata, right in the trying to level up to level 10. Had a couple of good selections for a race. We had the low end steering challenge here, 6.3. Fairly hard odds. But I think we could be reasonably competitive here, because low end steering is a good spot to kind of cheese the competition just a little bit. Many are kind of newer to Enthusia. It's definitely the track to go to if you want an easier victory at certain spots, because the AI definitely do not go nearly as fast as they could on the banked turn. Plus the Miata's nimbleness will definitely help through some of the faster and slower speed corners. It is a momentum car, so it's not going to have a whole lot of power, but it should be able to hold its speed through quite a bit of the corners. Very nice, very beautiful car. I love the red on this. It's just a bright, a very vibrant, very fun red. Let's get right up with the 22B Impreza. The super special edition. I was basically created to commemorate the sheer number of victories in rally racing. Very cool car. Fun fact about the Miata, though, I'm doing a little bit of research on it. I didn't actually know this until I read up on it. When the Miata was first introduced during the late 80s, 89, 90 model year, it didn't actually come standard with air conditioning. It's an optional feature. It was actually incredibly bare bones if you didn't get it with any of the options. But that's what allowed it to be a very kind of no frills, very cheap sports car for the masses. So in that regards, Mazda kind of did their job quite well, and making it a more easily accessible car. We're currently driving one of the special edition versions, which also came with a limited slip differential, or at least the manual ones came in with limited slip differential. The automatic ones did not, but the manual ones did, which definitely helped improve performance, especially in the corners, as well as acceleration stability on looser surfaces like dirt and snow and the likes. I mean, just look at this. Beautiful little car. Yeah, Mazda is an incredibly popular car as well for not only grassroots motorsport, but even semi-professional motorsport with the IMSA series. One of the entry-level IMSA races using the ND chassis MX-5, and it's pretty much about as close as you can get to the production-level MX-5s for racing, utilizing a sealed engine directly from Mazda that the teams themselves can't really modify or anything like that. And the chassis itself, it's pretty close to the production model as well, with the interior being stripped down and safety features being added like roll cages and racing seats and fire extinguishers and everything. But performance-wise, they're very close to it in an actual Miata, regular street Miata. Very cool watching them go around as well, because the races are almost always coming down right down to the wire. Like the race at the Daytona this year was super close. In a race at Sebring last year, it was a 3-car photo finish right to the very end, right at the very end. And Sebring itself is a fairly bumpy track, where it's sometimes difficult to get alongside other cars, as we kind of saw at the 12 hours of Sebring and the 1,000 kilometers, 1,000 miles of Sebring. So it's very interesting. Very interesting to have the three Mazdas going around the sunset hairpin and then into the final straight, basically neck and neck and neck. Oh, it's just super, super, super cool watching that race on the interwebs. Definitely want to go down to Sebring for one of the races some year. This year though, the automotive, the big sort of motorsport journey in August is I'm gonna be meeting up with a bunch of friends of mine from college, old roommates and everything. Still keeping contact with them. We do D&D on the Friday nights, virtually with like the virtual tabletop and stuff. I'm gonna be going up to like the Pittsburgh region, and I'm watching the Motor America doubleheader at Pittsburgh National Racer with them. My dad's gonna be coming up as well. It's gonna be super. I'm super excited for that because with motorcycle racing as well, motorcycle racing has a completely different vibe than like four-wheeled car racing as well. It is a lot of fun to watch. I'm not nearly as knowledgeable about motorcycles as I am with cars, but during the time period where everyone was kind of shut inside the houses and everything, I kind of began watching a lot of like the MotoGP and Motor America races, as well as the British Superbike stuff. And oh my gosh, the sheer acceleration and braking performance of those bikes. Well, they can't go in the corners quite as fast as a four-wheeled vehicle because they have less mechanical and aerodynamic grip. Because you have a very, very thin strip of rubber. Due to the lightweight nature, they still accelerate and brake incredibly quickly. So a lot of tracks kind of become like a point and squirt track with them, but then they have to kind of like balance and make sure they don't like fall off or go too fast through the corners, and then they just launch themselves down the straight, and it is so much fun to watch. So I'm excited to be watching that race come August in real life. Gonna be trying to provide health and everything, and work scheduling allows me to do. I'm gonna try to be doing going to at least one live, like at least one live, at least national level racing event per year, and I'm gonna try to kind of go to a couple of like grassroots events as well. Just because while I used to go to quite a few of the grassroots events because Maryland still has a few tracks. We do have 2 dirt tracks and a drag strip, so I used to watch a lot of like the late models and stuff and the modifieds on the dirt tracks, as well as a lot of bracket racing on Cecil Dragway. It was I do want to kind of like broaden what I'm able to watch live quite a bit more, especially now that I'm older. I have an adult salary and stuff like that as an engineer, so I wanna do that. It's gonna be a lot of fun. At least I think so. I think it'll be really, really cool. But this year is gonna be the Moto America doubleheader, and I got tickets for myself and a bunch of my buddies as well. So it's gonna be super fun. Because one, I get to see them again. I haven't seen them in person in a couple years actually. It's been a little while since I've last seen them in person. But also because we get to watch motorcycle racing at Pittsburgh International Raceway. That's gonna be really cool. Alright, what's another good race we should do? Super Circuit Challenge. We could probably handle that one. Yeah, let's do it. Sorry, let's race on Tsukuba. It's been a little while since I've kind of chance to race on Tsukuba. I've missed this game. I didn't get a chance to play it last week since I was working on creating the Discord server for the channel and for the community and everything, for all the members on the syndicate to join. And I intended yesterday to use that time to kind of work on developing a few other things for the channel and stuff. But with work, I'm not sure exactly how much I can say, but I'm doing a data management audit of a certain design, and I got home and I was so tired yesterday. I basically cooked dinner and then fell asleep until like midnight, and I had to get up at like 6 a.m. But I started to get like dishes done and get a few things sorted for like the socials and all that stuff for the channel. Oh man, I was just so tired. The hot sauce stream on Tuesday did not help. So I woke up the next morning. I wasn't feeling the best. I was feeling okay, but I wasn't. Definitely a little bit in pain still. Because that was quite some spicy hot sauce. That was very spicy. Oh well, I had a lot of fun doing that too. I was watching a little bit of the Vide, seeing myself in pain. But thankfully no hot sauce here, no hot sauce today. We will be having the clown punishment active today, where if I make any major mistakes or major off-course excursions, major collisions with the wall, stuff like that, then I need to activate Clown Isaac. But otherwise, right now we're just enjoying motorsport. We're just enjoying all these lightweight sports cars, like our beautiful Miata. We're getting to kind of battle with this other lightweight sports car. This one is the Storia, the Daihatsu Storia, another lightweight vehicle. This one is four-wheel drive ahead of us. Turbocharged, well, about 118 horsepower, about equal in power to our Miata. And I think about equal in weight, but that one does have a four-wheel drive system, unlike the Miata, which is only rear-wheel drive. And the Storia actually is fairly popular as well as a car used in the grassroots motorsports, specifically a lot of like rally racing in Japan. A lot of people use the Storia for that. Very quick car off-road, especially in its class, and it's in a lower displacement class. Oh man, we are right in a fight though between the Golf, the Integra Type R, and the Storia. We're not quite making a whole lot of grounds on the Storia, but hopefully with the Golf battling it, they can kind of limit each other's speed a bit for us to maybe make a move through these twisty bits coming up here. We can carry some more speed under the Dunlop Bridge. Just a little bit longer. Not quite. Ran just a little bit wide there. Oh, you're gonna run a defensive line there. Bump. That's fine. Moving on to braking. Totally not against the sporting code, but that's okay. Oh gosh, the Integra's got about double our horsepower with about 220 horsepower. We are definitely at a little bit of a disadvantage. We gotta gain at least one position back so we can finish within the points. I wasn't expecting this race to be quite so difficult. But with the top six all basically going nose to tail through the front straight, 4 laps or 3 laps in, means that it is very close. It is a very tight pack, and we were at a bit of a disadvantage then, starting closer to the front with the odd system. So we are one of the slower vehicles. We just gotta push just a little bit harder, especially through these twisty corners coming up. See if we can't outmaneuver some of the heavier cars like the Integra. But this is a very good battle. Oh gosh, okay. We have a run. We got in a draft with the Integra. Up into third. I don't think we're gonna keep third, but we can definitely keep fourth. We can keep the overtake on the Astoria. Come on, give me some speed, little Miata. We got one more lap and a corner left. This is actually a very close race. Oh, the understeer though. I got a little bit greedy on the throttle there. I watch myself. Because there's the DC2 Integra Type R just behind us. We had the DC5 chassis, the later model, in front of us, and then we have the earlier model, the yellow one, behind us. And both of them are quite quick. Very high, a very lightweight chassis, beautiful suspension design. Fairly powerful inline 4-cylinder engines in both of them as well. Both of them going at or over 200 horsepower. where our Miata is just over 100, 120-ish. So they do have quite a bit of a power advantage on us, which, especially coming out of this tight hairpin here, is a major time saver. Especially because we keep getting slowed up by them as we're going around. Come on. This is a very close race. And thankfully well, not necessarily thankfully, but that Subaru, the Subaru Forester just ahead, has basically managed to finish completely unopposed. Wow. Pretty much 5 laps in, everyone was on the same straight. For the distance between first and sixth, only 4 seconds. That is some impressive stuff. That is a very tight, very close race. A lot of good battling there. That was a lot of fun. We didn't have the best finishing position. But that was a very enjoyable race. Very cool. There we go. We got some grippy boys. We probably lost just a little bit of ranking there. That's fine. We need to do it just a little bit better in terms of ranking for the ranking points for the next race. So let's see what we have here with the Queen Victoria Cup, which we don't exactly have the best odds for. Let's do the Nürburgring Challenge. We have okay fighting odds for that one. That the Evo may prove a bit challenging, but if we can keep a decent speed through the twistier corners with the lightweight Miata, we should be fine. The Deutschleifer, though, is a very tricky, very difficult course. Having a completely clean run through the course is challenging in and of itself. You know, over 140 corners, if I remember correctly, and well over 12 miles long. It's basically a German toll road that was turned into a road course. And while this is no longer used for Formula 1, they mainly just race on a GP course. This one is still used for quite a few endurance events, including the VLN, as well as the 24 hours of Nürburgring. Very. Oh gosh. All right, that's enough for Clown Isaac. That's gonna cause a Clown Isaac. Nah, I locked it up. I locked up the rears under braking there. But just a little bit too aggressive on the brakes. I locked up the rears. It took me 2 corners on the Nordschleife to have a major off course and a wall tap. GG Isaac, this is what happens when you take an entire week break from a game. That's fine. Let's get our mojo back. Let's make sure we don't make any other major mistakes. A slight tire or 2 off course is no big deal, but other things like that, though, we want to make sure we avoid. Alright, so we're going to max out around like 130 miles an hour. That's decent enough for a vehicle of this power. It's a very solid, very solid top speed. I can definitely deal with that. I think we could probably take this corner actually at 3rd gear. Yeah, we can take this corner definitely in 3rd gear. So I'm just a tad too much. I just didn't want to run wide on exit there, because there is another fairly long, not necessarily a straightaway, but another high-speed full throttle section that will get you up to your top end very quickly, especially in the slower cars. I used the uphill a bit to slow down. Got to transfer a little bit of weight to the front wheels. The car turned in. A little bit slidey there. There we go, through the S's. Alright, let's keep the speed up. And now we have a decent lead on 2nd place. I'm not seeing them in the mirror just yet. So as long as we have a decent collection of corners coming up, and we can make sure we don't make any mistakes, and they don't completely blow us away on the straightaways, we should be fine. We may actually be able to win this. which I mean with the odds of 4.3, definitely seems likely. We'll at least be competitive. So you should be able to get quite a bit of ranking points from that, I'm hoping. At the very least, we should be able to break even in terms of ranking and stay within the top 50, so that we have a chance of getting into some RS events that maybe, you know, we might be able to be competitive in. The RS events themselves are basically for like the fastest cars and the fastest drivers of the game. More so the fastest cars than anything else. So you're up against some very impressive machinery anytime you enter an RS event. Very rarely does the performance level of the RS events dip below B class, and even then it takes quite a bit with the sheer length of the races and the aggression of the AI set fairly high. It does make it just a little bit tricky. There we go. All right, we're gonna make sure we don't lose too much speed on the uphill. There we go. Come on, you little. Another fun fact about the Miata is in Japan, it wasn't actually marketed as the Mazda Miata. At least not the first generation. The first generation was marketed as the UNOS Roadster, and that was because during the 90s, the pre-bubble, or the bubble economy of Japan, the early 90s economic boom, before the economy kind of collapsed in Japan, a lot of Japanese automakers were beginning to kind of expand and have separate luxury and sports brands for their vehicles. For example, Nissan had Infiniti, Lexus had Acura, Honda had Acura, Toyota had Lexus. Don't know why I said Lexus had Acura. Sorry, Honda had Acura, Toyota had Lexus, all that stuff. And Mazda had UNOS. And UNOS was sort of designed for their lighter weight, sort of two-door sporty cars, like the MX-5, the MX-3, and the MX-6. And those were the main vehicles offered by the UNOS sub-brand. But when the Japanese bubble economy kind of collapsed in the mid to late 90s, Mazda instead kind of consolidated that all underneath the Mazda brand shortly afterwards. And so it became the Mazda Miata or the Mazda MX-5 or the Mazda Roadster, depending on region and where you are. That's a cool little bit of trivia. And oh man, very cool. The Miatas themselves, in addition to being used by IMSA, they do have quite a few grassroots motorsports events. For example, the NASA, the race guys and the space guys, the National Autosport Association in the United States, has rules at a one-make race called Spec Miata, which I believe right now they're mainly using the NB chassis of Miata for Spec Miata. But yeah, it's very, it's more so designed for, grassroots style motorsport and everything. And not only that, but they use quite frequently in a lot of like autocross style events, where you're trying to do a tight time trial on a course kind of set up in a parking lot with cones and everything. So it's very tight turns, very tight maneuvering. The handling and driving ability matter more than pure power. And sometimes having too powerful of a car is actually a bit of a disadvantage, because it's more difficult to get traction down under acceleration on an unprepped surface. So the surface hasn't been like rubbered in and stuff, or it's more difficult to kind of get acceleration out of a tight corner. So a lot of people use the Miatas for those types of events as well, due to their lightweight, short wheelbase nature. They usually are fairly competitive in most classes as well for that. And the relative lack of lack of price for the performance also makes them very good. I don't want to call it a budget car, because it's still, motorsport in general is expensive. Whenever you're racing a vehicle, even if you don't make any mistakes, and even if there's no damage done to the vehicle, the sheer wear and tear and the fuel and maintenance costs and everything is very, very pricey, but doing autocross in a lighter weight, you know, smaller, kind of sporty-ish vehicle like the Miata or something like that is probably the cheapest way to, you know, semi-consistently have, you know, a motorsports experience and to kind of train yourself and get better as a driver. And it's really, really cool watching autocross as well, because it's a bunch, you know, regular guys, you know, out there, you know, pushing themselves, constantly trying to get a better time and everything. And they're all also kind of like learning from each other too. You know, oh, how'd you go through this corner complex? Well, I did this with this car. Oh, cool, I kind of did this. And they're kind of comparing times, and a lot of times they run like data loggers and stuff on their vehicles as well. You kind of see, you know, where they're gaining, where they're losing time. And it's just really chill, really chill atmosphere, really chill vibe. Definitely think it's really cool. Grassroots motorsports in general is just a very different vibe compared to professional level, even at a national level, professional level motorsport. But I definitely recommend watching any type of motorsport. It's really cool. No matter if it's, you know, Formula One, you know, multi-million-dollar facilities, or it's some, you know, your local dirt track, watching, you know, the locals and a couple out-of-staters, you know, racing around there, trying their best in a couple mini stocks or something. It's all very fun. Highly recommend it. That's also why I like quite like Pro Street as well. Is they did a really good job of kind of capturing that sort of grassroots motorsports combined with sort of like a music fest / car show vibe. Just a little bit before the Forza Horizon series did, and it's just really cool. That I don't think any of the Need for Speed game kind of had that vibe with it. That was just really enjoyable. It made you kind of, you know, want to, you know, it felt like you were part of, you know, part of an actual like world that could potentially exist. It's just really cool. All right, we have an empty week. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna try to see if there's a vehicle that we haven't unlocked yet. There's a race with a vehicle that we haven't unlocked. We're gonna be checking any of these R1 races first, just in case we can make some points. But right now it doesn't look like there's anything we haven't unlocked in the RS style races. Oh, the 2000 GT is an option. I gotta put on the clown wig anyway. Props. Because I do honor my promises. I did have a minor collision with the wall. So let's get this on top too. Whoop. That's a little off kilter. There we go. Much better. There we go. I am now Clown Isaac. Joke's on me. Now we have the lightweight 2-seater meeting, and we have the Super 7, and we have the Lotus Elan. So let's do this one. We get to race against a lot of vehicles that kind of inspired the creation of the Miata as well. Because when the Miata was kind of designed to be a modern reinterpretation of the quintessential British lightweight two-door roadster, but with the reliability of a Japanese car. And they did a really good job with that. But it's going to be cool to kind of race against a lot of these vehicles that inspired the creation of the Miata. You know, the Lotus Elan, your MGBs, your Austin Healey Sprites, all of those vehicles. You know, super lightweight, bare bones. You know, open top sports cars. And a lot of those are super cool too. In the fall, up where I live, up in Maryland, in Rock State Park, they have a major car show specifically for like the classic and modern British cars. That's run by the MG Club of Baltimore, called MGs on the Rocks, and it is so cool because it's usually right when the leaves are just changing color. So So it's, you know, it's very good for pictures and everything, because you're in a state park. You got all the trees and everything. You got all the different colors, and you have all these sort of classic and modern, like British roadsters and British, you know, sports cars and everything. Your Lotuses, your MGs, your a couple Aston Martins, a couple Jaguars as well, even a few E-types as well. Very beautiful cars. And then you have some of your modern stuff, you know, your couple Land Rovers, you know, your modern Jaguars, your modern Aston Martins as well. And it just all, you know, in this sort of open field, surrounded by, you know, the beautiful colors. And they're playing, you know, classic British rock songs from the 60s and 70s. And it is a vibe. It is super chill. And it's one of the later car shows of the year, of the season as well. So it feels kind of like, you know, everything's kind of winding down. It's like, you know, the last hurrah of the year, you know, and or at least of the automotive year of, you know, this is probably one of the last times we can kind of take these cars out before we need to put them away for the winter. Because Maryland winters are pretty not fun. Very wet, very slushy. But it's during that time period though, like the fall and everything, where the weather is like super mild. You know, you can get away with, you know, just a light t-shirt and long pants, and it's just super comfortable. And it is pure bliss. It is so much fun. It's one of my favorite car shows to go to as well. It's not the biggest, but it just has that vibe. It's just super chill vibe. Everyone is like really friendly. I definitely like it a lot. I'm gonna try to be going again this year, if possible, because I didn't get a chance to go last year because the date of the event fell right on the day of my father-in-law's birthday, and family is super important. You got to make sure you're there and everything. And it was, you know, big birthday party. He's in his 90s, and he's still kicking and everything. Very smart man. I mean, most people in my family I think are, you know, I definitely look up to quite a bit. And it was just really fun. I definitely don't regret going to his birthday, you know, the birthday celebrations and everything. Because those pictures will always be, you know, on the socials and everything. And it's you know, it's 1 year, but you know, the family members and everything. It's very important to, you know, kind of stick with family as well. All right, yeah, that Caterham Super 7. Kind of blew our doors away. That car is one of the faster vehicles in the game. Very lightweight, very terrifying to drive as well, because like the rear end of the Caterham likes to really kind of like break away from you. And there is like no driver aids, and with everything being incredibly lightweight with over about a 200-ish horsepower, it is a terrifying experience. But if you can get the settings just right, that car is a rocket ship, and pretty much everything but the circuits that require, you know, the top speed, or where you'll be at top speed the entire time. You want the Caterham, or if you can't quite handle the Caterham, then the next best car for you would be the EB110 in this game, with, you know, the 4-wheel drive, very stable, quite a bit of power, not quite as nimble in the corners, but you can kind of adjust that a little bit with the suspension settings. That Caterham is a rocket ship. Very quick. Oh my gosh, 30 seconds ahead of everyone else. Wow. We did okay too. We got second place. Beautiful little Miata. Absolutely love this car. I'm really enjoying kind of driving it. I love the classic inspired wire wheels as well. Alright, moment of truth. Are we gonna get anything useful? Are we gonna get either of those cars? Please. I want some more cars to add to the collection. Okay, we got the Lotus Elan. Very nice. Beautiful car. I love the pop-up headlights as well. Very nice. There we go. Let's get quite a few more points. Let's level up our car. There we go. And we had a fairly clean race there. Fairly empty race as well. Only really losing out to the Caterham, which is so much faster than us. Ooh, okay, good. Our ranking still increased a little bit. All right, next race. Let's see what we can enter to either maintain or improve our ranking. We're already up to level 6 in the Miata as well. We're doing very, very well here. The Japanese car limited race at Autumn Hill. And this one could be... This one may be a little bit difficult. We could probably beat the Accord. Let's go for it. I wanna see if we can do well with this one. It's gonna be a little bit tricky though, but Autumn Hill is definitely a course that favors sort of lighter weight, more maneuverable cars like the Miata, which is also why it's one of my favorite courses in the game. In addition to the fall colorings. We got an okay start. A little bit of wheel spin. That Celica's forward drive though is going to be launching it up into the lead very, very quickly. Thankfully, it is a little bit on the heavier side, with only 250 horsepower as opposed to the 280 horsepower that a lot of the Japanese forward drive beasts have. It is a little bit down on power, but it is a very, very, very quick car. You should not underestimate it. We have the Nismo Silvia behind us. Very, very rapid, incredibly high power, high boost pressure. Everything has been touched on that car and has been modified to make it even faster than the already fairly quick Silvia S15. And it is gaining on us just a little bit on the straight. It might be able to outbrake us going into this corner. Actually, yeah, it is gaining on us on the braking. Very, 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 very good brakes on that car. Very, very good handling. We're gonna try to be a bit defensive through here, but oh no, it is quite a bit quicker than us. Can we kind of get a pass on the inside, or at least stay right up with it through the tunnel? Kind of back off just a tad because it does the cars do like to slow down a bit through the tunnel. And I don't want to end up rear-ending it. I'm going to try to have a full-on clean race, or as clean of a race as possible. If I can help it. I want to kind of work on improving racecraft. Easy on the brakes. The car itself, when you're kind of doing harder brakes, it does like to rotate quite a bit inwards. Which is good if you can kind of keep the car stable on the rotation. Very, very nice. Beautiful, beautiful handling on the Miata. Definitely been one of my... For its lack of power, it still is a very, very fun car to drive. Very nimble. Just like a Miata should be. The game definitely kind of pulls off the feeling of the lightweight two-door, sports car quite a bit. Quite well. Very, very good car. Little 1.8 liter D-series engine. Originally the Miata had a 1.6 liter engine before they kind of upped the displacement by 0.2 liters. And the 1.6 liter Miatas were very... they did not have a whole lot of power. But the 1.8 liter NA chassis Miatas did make a decent amount for their weight and everything. Very, very good sort of, lightweight two-door sports car. And very, very cool. Mazda actually, a couple years back, began doing a restoration program for the NA chassis Miatas, where you'd send your car back in, and granted it's like super, super strict as to what can and what cannot, or like what condition the car can be in to be able to be repaired. Like all the parts have to be, all the parts have to be there for the vehicle. It can't be missing anything, and I think it can't have like, any more than like surface level frame rust. They take it apart, they completely like refurbish it, rebuild it, and everything. And it is really, really, really cool seeing the the end result of them sort of refurbishing those vehicles. The first vehicle actually in that for the restoration, the Mazda factory restoration program was one that was owned by a tomato farmer. I think a tomato farmer in Japan who bought the car when it was brand new, and then I kind of had it ever since. And it was really, really cool seeing that. There are other companies that do like full-on restorations of the Miatas as well. And of course, there are plenty of aftermarket companies that make parts for pretty much every generation Miata. For example, the NB chassis Miata, there's a company called Flying Miata, and they basically make kits that allow you to swap in an LS series engine into the NB chassis. And oh my gosh, those Miatas are terrifying, because you have basically a, you know, anywhere from 300 to 500 horsepower in a very, very lightweight chassis. And with the LS engines being aluminum block and the B series Mazda engines being an iron block engine, despite the massive increase in horsepower, that was a tap on the wall. That's gonna be. That wasn't too bad though. Despite the massive increase in horsepower and displacement, and the, in terms of volume, much larger engine, it actually weighs less compared to the iron block, because aluminum is just that much lighter than iron. Very, very cool. Oh my gosh, the sheer power of those LS swap Miatas, absolutely terrifying. I'm not sure I'd be able to handle something that light and that powerful. I would be genuinely terrified to drive that, especially in anything less than like perfect, dry, sunny day. Like if there was even like the slightest chance for the road to be wet, I'd be like, nope, I'm driving something different. I would not want to have any traffic incidents in a vehicle like that. Still be super cool though. It'd be fun to talk about, but the power to weight ratio on something like that would be absolutely mind-boggling. Alright, nice and easy. We have two cars that we're kind of holding. We're trying to hold back. We have the Nissan Skyline, or the Infiniti G35, and then we have another vehicle just behind us as well, a darker colored vehicle. I didn't get a good look at it in the rear view mirror. But we have one lap, well, half a lap really, left. Very, very, very close. Very tricky. Come on, let's make sure we don't lose any time on them on the straight. Carry as much speed out of the sweeper as we can. There we go, right up against the wall. Nice, very, very nice. And across the line. Refreshing. It was S14 Sylvia. Very, 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 very nice car as well. All right. So far, so good. We level up the car. We level up our beautiful little Miata even more so. Nice. Very, very good. Yes, please. And that is going to give us a lot of points. That's going to definitely help us quite a bit there. Should be good. Should be nice. Now we're getting really, really close to getting our beautiful little Miata up to level 10. Very, very nice. We have the Pacific Challenge here. Anything we haven't unlocked there? No. Okay, let's see. Let's see if this allows us. This gives us any option of any vehicles. Nope. Nothing there. Nothing in the Pacific Challenge, I imagine. Jeez. Okay. All right. Let's do. Try to race it low and steering. There's a Japanese car downhill match. What are we up against? Ooh, the Miata versus the Treno. I think that is a fairly even matchup. We might be able to do well on that. I think that'd be really, really fun. Kind of racing on the Toge. We don't really get a chance to race on Dragon Trail that much, just because of how tight and twisty it is. But we're gonna try. I'm gonna have to watch for oversteer, especially on braking with this car and with the downhill sections on the track. Like that. Thankfully, have enough power to kind of pull us out of the slide and get us through these tight corners. We have plenty of grip as well. Let's make sure we don't have any contact with the wall. Although it's going to be very, very tricky with some of these incredibly tight hairpins. Those corners are tight even in the absolutely microscopic mini. So in something bigger, you just gotta hope that you're able to kind of swing the rear around one of those tight turns, because otherwise it's just very, very, very tricky. Especially the incredibly tight hairpins, one right after the other, because you'd barely have time to kind of set yourself up for the next one. Very, very difficult. Like right here, this is going to be very tricky. You can see just how narrow it is. And you have to go down to like incredibly slow speeds where any bit of aggression, any bit of impatience is punished quite severely with a spin. So you gotta be very, very careful. But so far we're actually doing very well on the twisty bits here. Ooh, a little bit of a slide there. I like seeing the shining city down below at the base of the mountain. That's really cool as well, and you can kind of overlook and see it a little bit. Ooh, okay, that was close. That was very close. All right, light lift of throttle over the bridge. There we go. This is the car turned in. We had our fun on a one section of the track. We can kind of open up our legs. Back to the twisty sections now. Oh, this section is very difficult. Kind of need to almost like get the car to actually kind of drift around the corners. Man, that is a tricky section. That is a tricky corner complex. All right, here we go. Tight right-hand hairpin. This is a very, 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 very tricky course. Very, very slidey rear end on the Miata as well. Thankfully, it doesn't have too much power to really kind of break traction all that much on corner exit. So I can be just a little bit aggressive to kind of just get the car into a slight slide without worrying too much about over spinning the rear tires and completely kind of turning my car into a top. No spinella here. And there's the finish line. Here we go. Cross the line. Beautiful. Very, very nice. There we go. That's actually a surprisingly clean run. No collisions at all. No collisions with the other vehicle. There we go. There we go. Nice, a Miata is now incredibly lightweight, very, very lightweight Miata. We've improved our ranking even more. All right, now let's try to get another vehicle that we don't have, since we have an empty slot. So let's take a look. Let's take a look and see what we can get. Now we have the rear-wheel drive limited race here. Nothing that we haven't gotten. We have the Tsukuba Circuit Challenge. Probably nothing we've gotten. Oh. The Daihatsu Copen. Okay. Let's see what else we have. The Rev City Challenge. We have the Civic RS there. So we do have a few vehicles that we haven't unlocked yet in some of the lower ranking races. With the Marco Strada challenge, I don't really get a chance to race on Marco Strada that much. Let's see what else we have. The Tsukuba Circuit challenge here. Ooh, the Lotus Esprit and the 300 SL. Both of those are very, very good vehicles. We've raced on Tsukuba quite a bit already. We have raced on Tsukuba an immense amount. It's the Mazda Cup. We do have the Mazda Savannah and the the FD RX-7 as options. Convertible race. Ooh. The Alpha Spider. Let's do the Mazda Cup. Maybe. We may get absolutely blown out of the water with the Mazda Cup. I do worry about that one though, because we do have 3 vehicles that are quite a bit more powerful than us. And we do have one vehicle that is kind of skewing the odds against us a little bit with the Mazda RX-3. But we're gonna try. We're gonna try. We're gonna see if we can keep momentum through the tight, twisty city course. Maybe the RX-3 will be able to kind of act as a defender for us. We might be able to kind of get a bit of an advantage. Nope, never mind. Absolutely not. That is not gonna happen. The RX-7 is already basically right on our tail right from the start, and the RX-8. That is perfectly fine. Oh, you are gonna be an aggressive one, aren't you? You're gonna try to kind of go up for the inside no matter what. It's very, very dangerous to do that when you're already trail braking into a turn, going up the inside of another vehicle. Especially as the turn itself goes into a much narrower section of street. Alright, that may be a second gear corner, even if we are in speed slow enough to be in first gear. We want to make sure we maximize our traction and minimize our wheel spin out of the corner. So that may be better taken in second gear. So far, no major collisions though. We're keeping the Mazda very, very planted. Very smooth through the S's. No collisions with walls. I am being just a little bit too cautious though. But right now, we are quite a ways ahead of the RX-8. And that RX-7 is incredibly quick. It's got well over double our horsepower. And is still very, very lightweight, very agile. I don't think we'll have a good means of defending against that. Alright, let's go. Let's take this all the way. Lap 3. Nice and easy through here. There we go. Yeah, right now we're kind of a little bit in no man's land. The RX-8 behind us, quite a ways behind us. The RX-7 in front of us, quite a ways in front of us. But right now we're kind of on our own, but we're doing fairly well. We're definitely punching above our weight class with this beautiful little Miata. Very, very nice. Very enjoyable. nice and easy through here. Nice and easy. Alright, final straight. Here we go. Let's have a good, nice second place finish. Very, very nice. Cross the line. Decent race. We did okay. Only a minor collision with another vehicle. That was fairly clean as well. It should be good enough to kind of keep our get our car leveled up. We didn't win anything though. That is very unfortunate. Thank you, game, for not giving us any vehicles. that is a big oof moment. Awesome. Our ranking did increase just a little bit more as well. Very good. Very, very nice. All right, we're gonna have to kind of do a fairly strong showing now. At least get 500 or so ranking points. Ooh, the Nürburgring Enduro. On one hand, 3-lap race on a Nordschleife is going to take forever. On the other hand, we'd have a good shot at it, actually. Let's see that with the Tsukuba circuit. Let's go about the Nürburgring Challenge. We got this one. We can beat the Cobra. We can definitely beat the Cobra. I think we have a very, very good shot about beating the Cobra. Alright, here we go. Another lapper on the Nordschleife. I do enjoy driving. This track though. It's just very, very, very fun. You get into a vibe. It's a general kind of chill, relaxed flow. Like you're kind of right at the limit, but also we're getting absolutely beaten and battered by everyone being a hero. Guess who came back last night? Did the Grizzlies come back last night? Did they win? How'd they do? Oh gosh! Also, welcome to the stream tonight. Okay, yeah, that is definitely a clown Isaac moment. Oh, Jamar returned and the Grizzlies won. Sweet. So that he managed to kind of get right back into the swing of things, even with his absence. Very, very cool. Very, very, very cool. I bet you were very, very happy to kind of see that happen. Because I think you were, if I remember correctly, you said you had tickets to that game. You were watching live that night, right? If my memory is holding up correctly. Which that's gotta be a very, very fun experience. I bet the crowd was super, super, super hyped to have one of the players return. And then to get a win right on top of that with the return as well, that's gonna be really, really enjoyable to watch. And it's gotta be a very, very fun, very, very kind of high excitement atmosphere. Oh gosh, I locked it up going into the dirt. Easy. I need to get some time back. I need to get lots of time back. This Peugeot. This little French car needs to get out of my way. I'm kind of being a little bit too aggressive with the Miata. Oh, you have tickets to see the Friday game. My apologies. Can't wait to see him play tomorrow night. Yeah, hopefully he does really well as that game as well. Well, the entire team does really well that game as well. It's crazy though, the sheer amount that amount of games that like basketball and baseball they play in a single week. That's gotta be very very hectic schedule. You know, people talk about, you know, motorsport itself having a hectic schedule, but they're mainly, you know, racing on the weekends, and then they're traveling on the weekdays and stuff, and getting things prepped and all that. But these guys, those two sports, it is almost constant travel, game, game, and I can't imagine. I even if I was you know, skilled at that stuff, which I'm not, I definitely can't imagine just how hectic that schedule must be. But still, it's definitely good to hear he's back. Hopefully he's able to keep that form. Also, have you played the Midtown Madness games? I have not. I have heard of them. I want to play them. I gotta find a good copy. Because I think Midtown Madness is for the Dreamcast, right? I do have a Dreamcast emulator working. I just need to get that disc. Right now I only have a disc for the original Tokyo Extreme Racer as a Dreamcast game. I gotta get a few more Dreamcast games purchased so I can get the it's not the ISO file off of it, it's the .gda or something like that. GDI. Because it's slightly different than a DVD style image on the disc. But yeah, I definitely want to play it, because that was like the precursor to Midnight Club, if I remember correctly, but with like licensed vehicles. Yeah, the first tour developed by Angel Studios at Rockstar San Diego. Yeah, that's really cool. Those games. I have seen gameplay footage, and I do want to play it, but I gotta hunt down a good copy of those games. Same with for the Dreamcast, gotta hunt down a copy of Metropolis Street Racer, which is sort of the precursor to the Project Gotham Racing games. This was developed by I forget who developed them, but it was just developed by the same people that made the Project Gotham Racing games. So I definitely want to try those as well, since I do have the Dreamcast emulator up and running. But right now I only have one game disc for the Dreamcast. And also, they're not on Dreamcast. The first two are PC exclusive. I think it was exclusive version of Xbox. Okay, never mind then. I will have to then hunt down the PC version. I will have to hunt down the first two games then for the PC. I'm sure there are files hidden somewhere on the interwebs that may be useful in that. So I will need. I can probably hunt that down then with a little bit of difficulty. So yeah, I'm gonna have to search that up then. So that's gonna be really fun. So I enjoy Midnight Club as well, but having that Midnight Club, but with actual licensed vehicles, right? But like original like Midnight Club 1 handling model. I definitely want to see how that Internet Archive. Yeah, fair enough. Internet Archive, or sometimes My Abandonware, or other torrent sites. I do try to purchase games legitimately if I have the option to, even secondhand. I do try to, mostly because I do enjoy kind of frequenting not only my local flea markets, but also the couple local retro game stores nearby where I live, and I do like kind of providing them business as well. So I usually try to keep the games I have legitimate. But if there is no means of purchasing a physical copy, or it's like prohibitively expensive, or like region locked, then it's doing a dive into certain internet download sites and stuff. Alright, we're slowly catching up to this FC RX-7 in front of us. We got to get past it before the long straightaway. We're also going to be at a bit of a disadvantage going through there, because the RX-7 has about a 10 mile an hour advantage over us on the straights. right now we're slowly reeling it in, not fast enough. Did I see the new Lego racing event announced? I did. The 2K Lego. It's made by like 2K, right? I'm interested to see how it'll do. A lot of people surprisingly are like have very fond memories of the Lego Racers games. I only just recently played the first one. Those weren't necessarily part of my childhood, but it seems really cool. I'm gonna wait for more. I'm gonna wait a little bit for reviews from non IGN, Kotaku and stuff like that, like reviews from like regular YouTubers and stuff. Just kind of see what their thoughts are on it first. But it definitely seems very interesting. Definitely seems very interesting. I may attempt to purchase that as well in the near future. Although probably not for a little while. Funds right now are more so being spent on I can't spell ignorant without IGN. Yeah. There's a reason that the easy mode is sometimes called game journalist difficulty. But yeah, no, it's definitely very with the advent of the professional YouTubers and like independent reviewers and stuff like that, and everyone having the ability to create blogs and all that, the need to have a consolidated game reviewing site where people that may not necessarily specialize in those types of games are playing those games without really the deep knowledge of those games. It makes it kind of difficult for those reviews to be, just from the sheer, not even out of malice, but just from the sheer scale. You can't have a specific, for like a big company, you can't have one racing game reviewer on the payroll, one specific RPG game reviewer on the payroll, one action game, one FPS game reviewer on the payroll. You can't have a bunch of more generalist reviewers. But if you have someone who only like reviews racing games as like a YouTuber, only reviews shooter games or what have you, not only one, do their words carry a bit more weight usually, because they're able to kind of they have more background in that specific genre of game, and they can then better compare it to other games within the genre and say, well, this is what this game does really well, this is what that game does really well. But then they're also able to kind of build their credentials as well with that specific type of genre too. So they're inherently a little bit more trustworthy. Plus also, they're usually, unless they get like really big, they're usually not running ads for the upcoming games that they're going to then end up reviewing later on. So it does sometimes seem like a bit of a what we in the engineering field would sometimes call a conflict of interest. Because you don't want to give their games too poor reviews, because that might affect, if they're going to be willing to then run ads in your magazine or run ads on your website, compared to if you're an independent reviewer, you can get ads elsewhere. You can get ads from other things that are outside of the immediate scope of just that genre of games. Anyway, we're going to be switching to a racing car now. Absolutely, really cool. We have three options. We have the CLK DTM, the German touring car CLK. Very nice 4-liter V8 motor, making quite a bit of power. We have the Group 5 BMW CSL race car, the Batmobile. Very nice. And of course, we have the Japanese Grand Touring Car Championship Supra, which is very cool. This one I believe is the one when they went with the V8 motor and they swapped it in. The older Supras, the older JGTC Supras actually used a modified Celica engine, and there's only a little inline 4-cylinder engine instead. This one uses the big 5-liter V8. Let's pull up the random number generator. Let's see. All right, we're gonna be driving the BMW. Sweet. The classic touring car. Beautiful, beautiful car. Very, very old. Ooh, we're gonna be losing a little bit of ranking though, because the only thing this is really, really good for is for one make races. It is gonna be a bit tricky. Getting this car to be fairly competitive. All right, let's get the camber all cranked out quite a bit. So we don't wanna slide the car around too much. Let's dial back the limited slip to around midway, and I think that should make it a bit more maneuverable through some of the tighter tracks. And as you can see here, yeah, we're gonna get blown out of the water in the vast majority of races. Like this is a 66.8. There is no way we're gonna be able to compete against the literal car, the first Japanese car to win overall in Le Mans. We're not gonna be able to compete against the you know, unbeatable Audi R8 race car in a 70s BMW. So pretty much we're kind of limited to one make races against other BMW CSLs, which is a bit unfortunate, but it's gonna be kind of cool. It's gonna be like, you know, the Group 5 touring car era of the 70s and early 80s. And the Group 5 touring cars are basically kind of known as like silhouette racers, because if you look at them from the side, they're designed to kind of be the original concept was basically to have them be where if you look at them from the side, they look almost indistinguishable as a silhouette compared to their road-going versions, because basically the hood, the roof line, and the trunk could not be changed. You can have front splitters and rear diffusers and sometimes big wings as well. But the actual car itself, the overall sort of shape of the car can't change. And that's how the flat-nosed Porsche, the flat-nosed Group 5 Porsche, was kind of able to cheat a little bit. Okay, that's definitely a requirement for Clown Isaac. Let's get Clown Isaac up there. And flat-nosed Porsche was kind of able to, I don't necessarily cheat, but kind of have an interesting interpretation of the rules, because the headlights on those older Porsches, well, they weren't on the hood, they were on the fenders. And since the rules did say that you could change the fenders on those cars, they made it so that the headlights were instead in the front splitter. So after this race, I actually need to show, oh, this car is super not good. Okay. We had a bad race there. That is not gonna end well. I do want to showcase the flat-nosed Porsche though. That was kind of the you know, it was designed for improved aerodynamics, because with the front end like that, you have a lower frontal area, and you also have a lower coefficient of drag. So the car can reach higher speeds on the straights, which is really, really cool. This is one of the older Group 5 Porsches with the original sort of Porsche style fenders. But the later Porsches, the flat nose one, very, very, very different. Very, very different looking. You have the headlights down here in the front splitter instead of up here on the fenders. And a lot of the competitors got very, 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 very upset with Porsche for doing that, because they kind of considered it, you know, breaking the spirit of the rules. Even though they didn't technically break the rules, they did break the spirit of the rules. And that definitely caused quite a bit of protest. But they did rule it legal. They did indeed rule it legal, which is very, very cool. I don't want quite nearly as much. I want to stiffen up the front here, and I'm gonna stiffen up the front a bit more. There we go. But the car is very, very, very slidey. I mean, it's an old 70s BMW. Its design. Oh gosh, we're gonna be in the wet. We're gonna be in the wet with this. Okay. That's terrifying. That's terrifying. That is terrifying. That is very, very terrifying. We're gonna be in the wet in a very slidey BMW. Let's try to have a decent race here. Oh gosh. Come on. Oh, even at half throttle, the rears, I can just hear them. They are slipping. I'm definitely need to do quite a bit of opposite lock as well. Oh, just gotta tiptoe around this track. Try not to have too many collisions with the opponents. And try to hope that we're able to get the car leveled up enough that it's able to kind of be more competitive in these one-make races. Oh, and it doesn't have any traction control as well, so we need to have a lot of throttle control for this vehicle. Because it is a slidey car. No driver assists. Not a lot of aero as well, but quite a bit of power. Plenty of power going to those rear wheels. And I am full opposite lock, and it just does not want to cooperate. Dang. Alright, we're back down the order a bit. We do have, at least we have a lot of time to kind of gain some, not only some more knowledge of how this car handles, but also with, we can kind of begin making some positions back, or not. I am like full opposite lock there. Oh, this is dreadful. That's not going well. All right, let's try to gain some time back. Let's try to gain some positions back. We're gonna need to really kind of push it. And I think we may need to adjust the toe settings a bit towards understeer, which is not something you normally do in this game. Okay, this car is undrivable in its current state. Oh my word. My apologies. This car is just as difficult as I remember it being. It is definitely a tricky vehicle. All right, so let's go to the garage. Let's change some settings around. No, I want to actually make this towards understeer. There we go. That's better. Hopefully, we're able to kind of keep the car nice and planted. And we got a race on a Nordschleife. Perfect. That is exactly what we need. A nice long flowing course. Not too many tight technical corners. A lot more kind of open corners. Fairly high degree of grip. I don't think we'll have too much issues with this track. But my word, these Group 5 cars are a handful. Okay. I may want to go back to higher lock at the rear. That may help us a little bit. Or I may want to kind of avoid going down too many gears through some of the corners until I get better tires for this thing. Because, oh, this is difficult to control. You're gonna be seeing a lot of Clown Isaac. Okay, we have some higher speed sections now. Let's try to get back up with the rest of the pack. Try to get in front of them too, if we can. Oh, why are you slowing down that much for the corner? Too many heavy braking zones there. You shouldn't do that. You don't need to brake that much for flood flats, even in this vehicle. You want to kind of let the downforce, what little downforce you have, kind of carry you through the corner. Now let's get alongside them. There we go. Oh man, this is a tricky car though to drive. I have not had a race this difficult in a long time. But this is fun though. This is a learning experience. I am going to need to kind of learn how to control vehicles that are very slippery like this. And the best way to do it is to kind of short shift, kind of run it just below the power band out of the tighter corners. And what that'll do is that'll help us kind of maintain control of the vehicle. So I think the big issue right now is we're getting a little bit of power oversteer, where we're even at half throttle, the car itself, we're making enough power to kind of break traction when these older racing slicks. And so the rear end wants to go when we do that. Maybe. Oh man, this is challenging though. I am like struggling hard, especially on a controller, to get this thing under control. Definitely a wake-up call from the Miata. The Miata was nice and gentle. It was, you know, very, very patient with us. You know, you can be a bit mean, and the Miata would, you know, just gently remind you to kind of ease off a bit. This one, if you look at it the wrong way, it is going to try to murder you. Thankfully, the rest of the pack is fairly close together. So if we can get a good run and not spin it on some of these corners, we may be able to get back up in front and at least salvage a half-decent race from this. Side by side, no touch. Alright, slight touch. Alright, come on, side by side again. Notice I'm here, please. Notice I'm here. I'm alongside you. I am passing you. There we go. Good job. Good job. Good clean run. Oh. This is actually very stressful, trying to keep this car from spinning. It has quite a bit of grip in the higher speed sections when the aero finally is functional on it. But out of the low speed corners, it is a very, very, very different beast. I think you want to be one gear higher than you normally think you need to be for this vehicle in order to kind of make it less horrific through some of these corners. Like this is probably normally a second gear corner. I'm gonna probably stay in third gear and kind of use that to kind of minimize wheel spin on exit. And that actually went surprisingly well. This is probably another. This is kind of iffy as to whether second gear might be a bit too low a gear. There we go. Because here's the thing: if you spin on exit, it doesn't matter if you had a lot of torque down to the road. If you spin on exit, that's not good. Alright, can I squeeze through here? Not quite, okay. We got a little bit better run on the corner exit there. We're fighting after a fairly rough start. We're fighting for the lead on the Nordschleife. There's not a whole lot of passing points on this section of the course though. The course itself is a bit narrower and very, very bumpy. I'm gonna try to squeeze on the inside there. Only slight contact. There we go. Keep the car nice and stable. Okay, come on, Isaac. Don't wreck it. You might actually get a half-decent victory out of this. You need it. I need it, definitely. Okay. And basically, you kind of also have to kind of predict the vehicle as well, when the vehicle is going to get a bit upset at you, and preemptively counter steer on sections where you know the car is going to get a bit unstable. And with the Nordschleife being as bumpy as it is, that is most corners as well. So I'm pretty much like seesawing the control stick for this vehicle left and right whenever I'm kind of we're exiting a corner. Because if you catch it early enough, the vehicle will kind of be a bit forgiving, and you only lose a little bit of speed on corner exit. But this is a very, very slidey car. And when you see the rotation kind of begin to kick in a bit too much, that is a cue to kind of begin reducing throttle and also kind of counter steering preemptively to keep the car pointed in the right direction. And oh man, this is tricky. Especially in the longer slides like that. Oh, that's not good. Can I get out of the corner? Okay. Ah, that was bad. That was bad. I thought it wasn't going to spin because it was a fairly slow rotation. But one of the bumps kind of unsettled the vehicle on that turn. This car has a learning curve and a half. Oh my gosh. It's very, very, very tricky. Oh, come on, don't. Yeah, this is a very tricky car. I'm gonna need to really get good. Get good. It is like the mantra of most Dark Souls players. It's probably the mantra a lot of people watching this are also saying as well. Look at that. That is a heat map of horror. We're learning though. We're learning. We had a couple runs where the car was okay with us. So we may be able to do better in the next race depending on what the track is. I'm hoping. All right, backwards low end steering. Okay, gonna be a little bit tricky. But that's fine. That is gonna be okay. Oh man. Come on, we kind of know roughly what to expect from this car now. So let's actually get up into the lead. Let's get a good race, please. Now backwards low end steering is very, very difficult because you're immediately going downhill into basically Radion backwards. And like that, it just the car does not like that. Let's try to get up at least into a points playing position, and try to keep the race clean, so we can at least begin trying to level up the vehicle. Because this is going to take a little while, I think. This is definitely one of the trickier cars to drive in the game, with the sheer amount of power it makes and also the age of it. It doesn't have the best handling. No matter what you're doing for it, it is a tricky car. I think also it might be a good idea to reduce the front camber a bit, so I don't quite get nearly as much turn in under braking, at least until we're able to kind of get better tires for this. Because as of right now, this car very slidey. Like even an entire gear higher than what I should be, and kind of bogging down on corner exits. Like I am breaking traction still. You can see some of the tires turning red, showcasing that they've lost traction. And oh my word, it is very tricky. Come on. Nice and easy, nice and easy. Back again to the right. Gotta watch yourselves here. Alright, onto the bank turn. We gotta really watch ourselves through backwards routing. We're gonna have to try to brake in a straight line for that, and carry a slower speed through that corner. We're gonna have to try to get up with the leader again. See if we can't win this, and at least save some of our points. Oh, this is tricky though. The backwards low end steering in general, and the backwards Nürburgring are two of the more difficult backwards courses in the game. The low end steering, because the Radeon is not designed to be taken that direction. And also the Nürburgring, because the Nürburgring in general is just tricky enough when you're trying to memorize it going forwards, but trying to memorize it going backwards is much more difficult. And unfortunately, we will be doing a race on backwards Nürburgring. I can almost guarantee it will probably be either the next one of the race after this one. Because you can only race the BMW, you can only race the racing cars on the actual permanent racing circuits. And thankfully, there isn't too many permanent racing circuits in this game as well. Easy. This car wants to spin like a top. Nice and easy through here. Want to make sure we don't spin the vehicle. If we don't spin the vehicle, we can probably gain a little bit of time on the leader. I'm not sure if we'll be able to compete for the win with the bad start to the race that we got, kind of spinning and binning the vehicle right on the first corner. But if we keep the car nice and planted to these corners, we might be able to at least make some time up and be fairly competitive. Oh man, this car though, it is very very not fun. I mean, on one hand, once you get the hang of it, and I'm slowly getting the hang of it, it does provide a very unique driving experience, and I can see why they include it in the game, as well as because it is a really cool historic racing car with lots of history behind it. But man, it is a difficult car to drive. Group 5 cars in general, especially the older ones from the 70s, are very, very tricky to drive. Oh, are you kidding me? One wheel off corner, like one wheel in the dirt, on a double blind turn, and the car just goes. You can go full brake, full opposite lock, nothing. It will not. It will not catch itself. Now that is why they don't run Radeon downhill, because it is a terrifying corner to run uphill in general. Running it downhill is like asking your car to do way too many things it cannot do at once. It is very, very, very not a fun experience to go backwards. It's the other reason why a lot of racing circuits are only run one direction, is because a lot of times we try to run them in the opposite direction. Certain hills, certain bumps, certain corners will cause a lot of vehicles to get very, very upset at you. And, oh, come on. And this is just painful. This car. We're gonna try to at least get some ranking points, and hopefully get at least a little bit of points so we can try to get an upgrade. But right now, this car is it is the car from hell. Yeah, I'm gonna kind of raise the vehicle just a little bit. And really, I'm gonna lock the rear diff more, and then I'm gonna reduce the front camber. And I think that'll get the car a little bit more stable. Because right now this car is just not being cooperative at all. Thankfully, we can get a good position back on the corner exit. There we go. So we can still stay second place. But man, that was, oh, gosh, that was not a fun experience. That was not a fun experience, not one bit. Whew. Alright, let's see if we can get any ranking for upgrade points. 360 ranking points. Oh gosh, that's not good. We need to do better. Garage settings. A bit of understeer. Dial back the camber. Increase the rear diff. That should be better. I wore this car though. Alright, let's see what else we got. Ooh, forwards and low end steering. Alright, can we actually have a redemption arc? Can we actually have a redemption arc? Can we get this? Can we get this complete? I am hoping so. Can we get a victory, a clean race so I can get the wig off. The wig is starting to itch a little bit. The nose is also starting to feel just a little bit funny. I don't quite like clowns. They taste a little funny. Alright, come on. Alright, on the high-speed corners, car is feeling very, very stable. Easy through the hairpins. Probably want to keep it within third gear. And this is... Oh, it feels like I am tiptoeing around. Really? I barely gave it any throttle. I barely gave it any throttle. How did it... How did it spin around from that? Okay. Jeez, racing slicks. These old racing slicks have zero grip. As thick as they are as well, you would think they have a bit more grip. But no, the rear of the car just wants to go around. Like I've got quite a bit of camo in the rear. I've got the toe angle set for it towards understeer. I relocked the diff up quite a bit to kind of improve vehicle handling a little bit, to kind of put it back towards understeer some more. And oh man, it is still, the car is still fighting me. You got to be very gentle, very patient with this car. It is exactly how you kind of expect an old touring car to drive, because those cars were basically death traps. Most older racing cars were death traps that were built by people who had a rough understanding of aerodynamics, a rough understanding of vehicle handling, but even then, oh man, they did not handle well. Very twitchy, very sketchy handling. That's fine. We got this. We've got this. The car itself is actually handling... It's handling the high-speed corners a lot better, though. Very smooth through there. There we go. Okay, well, I think we got most of the vehicle all situated and fixed up. So we might be able to actually get some levels into this car after what, our 4th or 5th race. We might be able to actually take a victory as well. That is some good stuff. All right, so you kind of want to have just a little bit of throttle. One corner exit, just an ever so slight throttle, just to kind of make it have some stability. I think if we go completely off throttle, yeah, having to go completely off throttle is a bad idea in this old Beamer. Right now we're actually on track to have a clean race, which is good. Which is very, very good. This old BMW Group 5 car. It's very fast in a straight line. It's got quite a bit of power. And it's quite quick on some of the higher speed corners. But you're definitely tiptoeing it around some of the low speed corners, trying not to light up the rears too much. You gotta do the early counter steer as well if you feel the vehicle kind of slide out from under you. It is tricky getting this car around the track. We are winning though, surprisingly. We actually have a decent lead, and we haven't had a major misstep yet. We've kind of gone sideways quite a bit, very, very sideways in some of these corners. But otherwise, we're doing okay. We're doing all right. As we're coming up to the tail of the kitty cat. Gonna be getting close to our 3rd and final lap. And man, despite the massive amount of power in this, the lap times themselves aren't all that quick. We haven't been able to break the 3-minute barrier, and that's because very rarely are we able to kind of get up to full throttle without the car completely snapping out from under us. So it is a little bit trickier. Easy. Here we go. Alright, through Radion. Now get back up into full throttle. Wait for the straight to shift gears. There we go. Perfect. This is a beautiful car, though. Very, very nice. I know what my next profile picture at work is going to be, and it's going to be one of these, or one of the Porsche Group 5 cars. Both of them are really, really cool. A lot of Group 5 cars are really awesome. For example, we had the Skyline Super Silhouette of the 80s of Gran Turismo fame, and that car is really cool as well because it was basically like a super fast box on wheels, the massive rear spoiler. You had the Zach Speed Ford Capris, which again were very, very, very fast. You even had a Group 5 BMW M1, which had insane aero on it. Really, really cool, some of the Group 5 touring cars. There was even a custom C3 Corvette for Group 5 racing, and it looks mean. Like the Corvette was already kind of known as like a low, wide, kind of sporty-ish vehicle, but it got lower, it got wider, and it looks almost like a cartoon or like a Hot Wheels car with the over-exaggerated proportions. But it was surprisingly quick, especially at like Le Mans and other like higher speed tracks like at Daytona and stuff. It was a surprisingly quick car. I believe it was built by the Greenwood brothers, that C3 Corvette Group 5 car, and it did surprisingly well. Oh man, but this BMW though, very, very tricky. Trying to get the car around these corners, just tiptoeing it. Ooh. It gets a little squirrely, especially on some of the bumpier sections on the track. It is definitely a car you treat with the utmost of respect, because otherwise it'll try to snap oversteer or get out from underneath you on some of these corners. Alright, one to the tail of the kitty cat. Nice and smooth through here. Alright. We did an earlier shift there, but we should be able to get the car all nice and turned in through the reverse Radion. There we go. Good. Onto the straight, onto the back of the kitty cat, and across the line. Whew. And that was a fairly clean race. So we should be able to kind of get rid of this at least for one event. Because wow, this is a tricky car to drive. That should be enough to level it up at least once, I'm hoping. Please. Or twice. Level up twice. Only once. Okay, at least the car is lighter, so it should be a little bit more maneuverable. There we go. Our ranking has improved a bit too from that victory. Very good. Very nice. Alright, where are we racing next? Tsukuba in the dry? Oh no, the Nordschleife again. Okay, cool. Another crack at the ring. Oh man, I can't imagine just how difficult this car in real life would be to drive, especially around, you know, the tracks that actually race on, like Spa, the Nordschleife, and the lakes. Oh my gosh, those drivers were. I have a lot of respect for those drivers of those old vehicles. They were very, very quick, very rapid. I'm gonna hold off just a tad. They're gonna go wide on this corner. There we go. up into fourth. A clean overtake. We managed to kind of avoid getting caught up in the mess. Although we are battling for position for third place just ahead of us. We got this though. Oh boy. Easy through here. We don't want to spin the car too early. Or at all if possible. But man, it feels like you were tiptoeing in your Jordans. No, it feels like you're tiptoeing in this BMW. Very, very, very sketchy to drive. Alright, I have to watch here. He's gonna get on his brakes fairly heavily at Flugplatz. And you do need to brake just a little bit in this vehicle because it doesn't quite have enough aero to keep it planted at speed. But you just need to kind of graze the brakes at one turn in. You don't need to brake nearly as heavily as he did. Alright, up in the second. That's a solid position there, especially with how untuned our vehicle is. Little bit of a brake. Drag the brakes just a little bit going into this sweeper left-hander. And then heavy braking down to third gear for this tighter right-hand corner. Slowly get back on the throttle. Gotta be very patient with these cars. And I'm more so talking to myself through this as much as I'm talking to you guys, the viewers, the chat. Because this is, oh man, a lot of mental, lots going on just trying to kind of memorize not only the course but how the vehicle reacted to the different corners last time. Granted, it's being a little bit more predictable now with the locked rear differential, as well as the this alignment change. Definitely helped out a lot. Alignment does play a big role in how race cars drive. And this car is beginning to kind of feel, or at least kind of beginning to get the hang of it just a little bit. There's still a few corners, a few sections where the car wants to kind of get out from under me quite a bit. And I'm trying to avoid that as much as possible. This is a beautiful, beautiful car. I do not want to wreck it. Easy through here. Alright, that's going to cost us just a little bit of time on the leader. That's okay. That is okay. We can gain that back. We're only about halfway done the race. Alright, nice and easy. We're going to struggle a little bit on this uphill section, because we were in a higher gear than we needed to be. But I wanted to be very, very careful. I did not want to light up the rear tires. You gotta be very gentle with these cars. You almost need to roll onto the throttle as opposed to stabbing it. And there are no driver assists, no high grip tires, nothing like that on here to kind of prevent you from making any mistakes. It is a pure machine. You are your own driver assist, which on one hand makes this a very, very difficult car for okay-ish drivers like myself. It is basically a car that separates the really, really good drivers from the okay drivers. An okay driver can take, you know, a more modern race car around a track and do an okay lap time. But they take an older car around. Oh no, they will be very much in the walls. Especially an older race car, which is basically you were at the limits of control the entire time. Through the carousel. Gradually get back up with the BMW in front of us, the BMW CSL, the Batmobile, as it is affectionately called. With it being kind of dubbed the Batmobile, I'm surprised there was never a Batman, like a Batman animated series or a Batman like TV show or what have you, or a Batman movie, where they use, you know, a BMW CSL as the Batmobile, as sort of like a nod to the motorsports heritage of the vehicle. That'd be kind of cool. They did like a retro inspired Batman, and that was the vehicle they used the Batmobile on. Because the original Batmobile from the Adam West movies was actually based on the Lincoln Futura, which was a show car during the 50s. And they used that to kind of create the Batmobile and everything. And it was pretty much just a Lincoln Futura with a couple bits, like I think a remodified exhaust, and like a few modifications here and there, and then a new paint job. But it was otherwise basically like recognizable as the Lincoln Futura. But as the series progressed and everything, the Batmobile kind of got more and more unique in that regards. Where it wasn't quite based on any real production vehicle and became more militaristic, especially with the Batman vs Superman movies, as well as the Dark Knight trilogy. Both of those Batmobiles being like incredibly, you know, like high tech, almost like military style equipment. Whereas in the older ones, the Batmobile was mostly just a means of just getting from you know, point A to point B in style. It's a double-edged sword. On the one hand, I think it becomes a bit less iconic when you try to ground it more in reality or more in, like, you know, science, harder sci-fi and stuff. But on the other hand, it does make it a bit more believable that, you know, a superhero, a billionaire superhero who owns a company that you know, does defense contracts and stuff like that would utilize some prototype military equipment for his escapades as a superhero. So it's I guess it depends on what you like more. If you like the campiness and more so the glitz and the kind of the style of the older Adam West style Batmans, you kind of want the Batmobile to be more pedestrian, I guess. Whereas if you want, you know, if you like the more sort of darker, grittier, you know, Dark Knight style Batman, you prefer the Batmobile to be a bit more grounded and militaristic and, you know, practical. Both have their merits, and both are really, really, really cool. Alright, we're gonna have a second place here. But that's still okay. We got a semi-clean race there. We did decently. A few off courses here and there, but otherwise we did alright. Yeah, we got over 100 points. That's gonna be enough for a tire upgrade at least, which is good. We need some grippier boys. Oh, so much better. Yes, please. Oh gosh, we did not get a whole lot of points there. We definitely did not quite. We lost quite a bit of ranking there. We need to do even better. We need to do much better. At least keep within the 600s. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. We're gonna be in the wet. We're gonna be in the very, very slippery conditions in a car that's already very slippery. All right. I'm terrified. Let's see if we can keep the car pointed in the right direction at least. We got a good start. Yeah, a little bit of beating and banging on opponents. That's okay. That's touring car racing for you. everyone, you know, in really, really tight, confined areas. You gotta be very gentle with the throttle, though. Very early on the brakes, very, very smooth through the corners. And you can even hear the other opponents as well being very, very gentle on the throttle. Okay, okay, nice and easy. We can gain a little bit of time. We can gain a little bit of time through the final corner there. And going into the first hairpin. It can be a bit later braking there. Alright, we're in position to kind of make an overtake on second place here. Gonna try a maneuver on the outside. See if we can carry some more speed on corner exit. Not quite, but we did at least have a... Oh gosh. Alright, impromptu rallycross time. I got a little bit too aggressive on the throttle there, trying to get past second place. I know exactly what I did wrong though. That was driver error. Alright, come on, let's get back up with... Let's try to at least get another second place finish. It's gonna take about a lap or two to get back up with second place. The car is handling fairly well. It's a bit difficult to tell with it being so wet. I completely missed that apex there. Alright, we're 6 seconds behind the leader. Let's try to close that gap as well. Oh boy. Easy. Easy. Alright, we're up within striking distance of second place. We should be able to get past them. Probably going into the first hairpin. We can carry the speeder on this corner. Run just a little bit wider. Bump. Okay, never mind. He was running a bit of a block there. It's gonna make things just a little bit more difficult because we lost a lot of time on the leader. We need to get past this guy quick in order to try to get back up with the leader and maybe fight for first place position. But right now, it's difficult to make a pass stick because you got to be super gentle with the throttle. And he is blocking quite heavily. Alright, I think we made the pass stick. Let's make sure we don't make any mistakes. And let's try to cut down that deficit. Okay, even when we're in the lead, that first place. That first place BMW is being very tricky to catch up to. I'm gonna try to push just a little bit harder. Oh, but this is gonna cause us a lot of lost traction. gotta be very, very careful with this thing. It is like driving on ice in this car in the wet. Very, very slippery. Oh gosh, full opposite lock to that corner as well. Woo! Oh man. Here we go, at least we got the car slowed down enough for that turn now. Okay. Just gotta be very, very, very smooth with the throttle. Do not do that. Ow. Ow. Okay. Alright, time to get second place back. The Dunlop Bridge corner. Yeah, I know. Wrong way. Wrong way. Come on. You can spin around one way, you can spin around the other way. Alright, here we go. Let's get some of that time back. Let's try to at least get third place. Maybe. Gosh, 10 laps. 10 laps around Tsukuba in the wet in this car is very tricky. Oh my word. You're basically dancing right on the limits of grip the entire time. Trying not to overdrive the car. Trying to get it turned in for the corners. Trying not to hydroplane on braking. Trying not to get on the throttle too early. It is just constantly making sure that you do not make any major mistakes. Like that? Okay, yeah, sure, keep turning to the right. Just turn to the right. I'm not quite understanding. I was able to take that corner with that line and that throttle application earlier in the race. I know it doesn't say it, but I wonder if the game actually kind of simulates like tire wear maybe. Because I definitely feel like a little bit of loss of grip there. The vehicle seems a little bit more unstable. Okay, let's try to get to that corner without any major spins. With this corner. Yeah, this car is incredibly difficult to drive, especially in the wet, and especially with no tire upgrade or one tire upgrade, with it only being a level 2. So that means not only do you, in order to compete against some of the faster opponents, because their cars are upgraded, you kind of need to drive the overdrive the car a bit. But you can't overdrive the car because the car doesn't have enough grip to be overdriven. So they'll want to spin on you. And it's just... Oh. This is tricky. This is very, very, very tricky. I am trying my hardest to keep the car pointed in the right direction for the remainder of the race, so we can hopefully at least get enough pity points to level it up a bit more. And hopefully we have a race that isn't in the wet for the next race. I don't mind a Tsukuba race, but so far the 2 Tsukuba races we've done in this vehicle that the game has decided for us have both been in like absolutely torrential downpour conditions, and this car is not built for that. Okay, nice and easy, nice and easy. This is a terrifying vehicle to drive. These Group 5 cars. Very old touring cars, but with plenty of power. It's right during sort of the big power era of motorsport, where the cars made lots of power, but didn't really have a whole lot of air. Didn't really have a whole lot of advanced sort of grip or really good tires. So they were just super slippery to drive. And yeah, this is definitely could have gone a lot better for us. That's fine. Next race is another race. We'll get a clean slate, a chance to do better. Okay, left, please. We are not using the motorcycle course on Tsukuba. We are race cars. We have 4 wheels. We should have the traction of 4 wheels. I do not know why this car wishes to veer off into the motorcycle chicane, but it does. Okay, this car. Very tricky. Easy through this corner. Alright, I may want to adjust the settings of the vehicle again, lock the rear diff just a little bit more. Oh man. That was a very difficult race. And that should be enough for another upgrade. Alright, so that'll give the car a bit more power, which on one hand means it's going to be just a little bit more tricky to drive. But on the other hand, it will allow us to kind of reach some higher speeds on a straight. So let's adjust a few more settings. You've gotten the vehicle a little bit more controllable. Let's reduce the gear ratio as well, so we're less likely to spin the wheels on heavy acceleration zones. Another Nordschleife race. It's basically been Nordschleife, other track, Nordschleife, other track, Nordschleife, other track. Which, granted, Nordschleife is a welcome track to drive on in this vehicle, because it is there isn't a whole lot of super tight corners that break traction like at Tsukuba, or or at low end steering, because both of those have some fairly tight hairpins. Here, with the exception of the carousel, which you can kind of coast through almost, you have a better shot of kind of getting through the vast majority of corners without breaking traction under acceleration. Yeah, I know, I'm right next to you. Come on. We're up to 5th. Let's try to gain a little bit more time, a few more positions through the early corners, so we can run a defensive line in the later stages of the race, where the AI begin to go just a little bit faster. Alright, let's get into the slipstream over the bridge. Alright, we're gonna make an overtake at Flugplatz. Brake just a little bit before the corner. There we go. Nice and smooth. Get up on the inside of the opponent. Alright, let's chase down the leader now. Yeah, in the dry, I think we got the settings down for a dry run fairly well with this vehicle. It's just in the wet. In the wet, the car still wants to be a murderous little hellion. But in the dry right now, like, we're able to kind of push and make some daring overtaking maneuvers on the opponents, and it's definitely going a lot better. Yeah, there's a little bit of contact there. Easy. Kind of want to coast through these corners. Don't want to break traction too much. Go down to 3rd gear. Little bit of throttle to keep the car stable through the S-curves. Gradually get back on the throttle. There we go. Very smooth. Here we go. Here we go. Nice and easy. Oh, full opposite lock for that entire corner. Basically channeling our inner Takumi there. Channeling our inner our inner Drift King. Oh gosh. Okay, heavy snap oversteer in that corner complex. I forgot about that. The course kind of drops away from you just a little bit, under braking, and that basically shifts all the weight to the front wheels and nothing to the rear, and the car just shoots off in whatever direction you may have had the wheels ever so slightly pointed at. That is a very tricky corner complex. Okay. We're still in the lead though. That's all I care about right now, is staying in the lead and having a mostly clean race so I can get this car actually leveled up, so we're not stuck with this for like 3 streams or something. We've got this though. We've got this. Oh man. Through another high speed section. Use this to kind of gain a little bit of time on the opponents. At the very least, use it as time to kind of calm your nerves before you get into some more of the tighter, twistier, bumpier sections of the course where the vehicle will want to get a little bit unsettled on you. The high speed sections is able to handle mostly reasonably well. Okay, that is definitely a corner you can't take flat out on this car. You can do it in higher downforce cars, but not in this. Good to know. Take this corner in 3rd gear, gradually get on the throttle. Don't break traction. There we go. The carousel is a 2nd gear corner. You kind of just want to dive in. Slowly get back on the throttle as you exit. And this is a tricky course though. Yeah, this car is definitely different than the Miata we were driving earlier. Oh boy. Easy. Very, very easy there. Come on. Go. Go, go, go. We may lose position. That's okay. I barely got on the throttle there. The car just completely got away from me there. Okay, let's get that position back. And soon, we're running out of road. We are running out of track very quickly. We should be right behind it, or just ahead of it, on the main straight. Right now we're just behind it. We got it right in our sights. We should be able to outbrake it going to the final corner complex. We don't want to go too far behind, so we end up losing the slipstream on the car on the 1.2 mile straight to the finish. Alright, nice and easy. Don't get the car spun. Alright, into the slipstream. There we go. Power through. Yes. Speed. Very, very nice. We're reaching the vehicle's maximum speed. Oh, we have the BMW right behind us as well. Topping out at just under 170 miles an hour. This is a terrifying experience. Okay, we're gonna gradually ease up, get on the brakes. Smooth through these corners. There we go. Oh my gosh. That was a tricky lap. Wow. Okay. Oh, nice. Alright, that may not be enough to level up the vehicle. Oh, it is. Okay, good. At least the vehicle levels up with a low amount of points. Which is good. That should be weight savings. Should be getting 600 points as well. That should help us a little bit. At the very least, minimize our point reduction. There we go. I'm gonna quick run to the restroom real quick. I'll be back in just a second. Okay, I am back. Thank you for your patience. Now let's into another race. Let's try to get this to level 10. Alright, backwards low end steering. 1. Should be an interesting race. Should be very, very interesting. Alright, here we go. Alright, vehicle should be lighter, so it should be a little bit more nimble. just gotta be very careful going into the backwards radion, especially going into it on the downhill section first, because this corner is terrifying. Managed to make it work though. We managed to make it stick. Just gotta do that 2 more times. Hey, really? Okay, yeah, you're able to go faster through this corner than I thought you could. Nice. Very, very nice. Alright, the car is being a little bit more stable, a little bit more maneuverable. It's doing okay. Be very, very, very careful through here. Because the car, even though it's doing a little bit better now with our adjustments and settings and the better tires, it still was a little bit murderous on some of the bumpier and tighter corners. You gotta be very, very patient with it, or else it'll do that to you, and it'll just spin. The super low speed corners are the bane of this vehicle's existence. It can handle the higher speed corners reasonably well, but the lower speed corners, not so much. The low speed corners, it's much more difficult to get a good clean pass through them. Oh gosh, no turning. Rally. Impromptu rally car. Easy. Oh gosh. This car is very tricky. Heavy. Oh gosh, the cat has gotten on my lap as well. Hey there, Garbanzo. She's a good kitty. Right now, she is a good lap warmer. A good. Oh, now she's on the desk. Okay, that's fine. That's perfectly fine. As long as she doesn't block. As long as she doesn't block me, she can sit. Basically, she is right by the microphone, so you may hear some meows or some chirping, maybe. That's just gonna be her saying hi to you guys. easy through here. Now let's try to get our position back. Let's try to get up into first place again. That's still a slight tap on the wall there. The exit of that corner is a tricky one. Very, very tricky. I want to begin braking much earlier. Yeah, I don't care if you pass me on the braking. I don't like this corner complex. It is double blind. Not only are you going downhill, so you can't see the corner, we also can't, it's a good little blind left-hand turn as well. It's very, very tricky. You basically have to know exactly where that corner goes and how fast you need to go before you even get to it. Because you can't see it and judge if you're going too quickly or not. It is just a very difficult corner complex. In that way. In the upwards, in the opposite direction, the normal way you're supposed to take it, it's a bit better. It is a little bit better. But it's not nearly as bad. Nice and easy. Nice and easy. Be very, very careful through here. Oh gosh. Car is very slidey. No. Oh, these old Group 5 touring cars are horrific to drive at times. Very, 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 very finicky. If you don't do everything perfectly, they will murder you, and then eat your corpse, and then use your bones to decorate the house. And they're like, hey, look at this furnishing I got, and the buddies will be like, oh wow, that's like super cool, dude. That's like metal as hell. And they're like, thanks, I got it on sale. And they'll be comparing the bones of different drivers, like, oh yeah, this one's very, very nice. This turned a bit morbid. But no, these vehicles, these Group 5 touring cars, they are very, very, very difficult to drive. Very tricky. Come on. Gotta get into the lead. Did the bank turn. There we go. Carry as much speed as we can on exits. Yes. Perfect. Okay. We should be able to level up the vehicle again. That should allow us to get the level 2 tires. Which is good. Very, very good. Should help us a lot with that. Yes. Nice. Good. Good. Thank you. Hi there. You want to say hi to the people? Hey, you're right by the microphone. You wanna say hi to them? Hey. You can just faintly hear cat noises. Hang on a second. I wanna see if she actually says anything. Hey. No, she's instead bumping the microphone instead. Okay. Would you like to get down off of my desk, or are you enjoying your perch? She is enjoying her perch. She is blocking my screen and is attacking the microphone now. Yeah, come down here. Come down here. Sit on my lap. Cute little kitty. kitty. I now have a co-driver. The game felt bad for me, so it sent a little furry, little fuzzy co-driver to help me maintain smoothness with the vehicle. Good little kitty. All right, let's enter our next race. And it's another wet race at Tsukuba. Fun. And our co-driver has left. Our co-driver has left. She's like, nope, even I can't help you there. I can't help you in the wet. Cats don't like water. She is now sitting at the other side of the room, just staring at me. She's like, good luck, buddy. You're gonna need it. I'll be over here. It went from all human, here, I'll help you, to, yeah, good luck, buddy. This is gonna be fun to watch. Alright, up the 4th. Car is mostly stable through here. I would love to be able to race at Tsukuba with this vehicle not in the wet, if possible. I think that would be very, very nice. It seems like we've only been able to race at Tsukuba in the wet with this car. I would love a dry or even a nighttime Tsukuba. Those are also options, game. Please. Stop suggesting. Stop making the only race we can be competitive in wet Tsukuba. I don't think Japan is quite this rainy. Alright, we're up in the 3rd on the first lap. That's a good start. With the upgraded tires as well, we should be able to be a little bit more aggressive with the throttle application on the corner exit, especially through the Dunlop curve. Okay, brakes still aren't great. That's fine. Up in the 2nd. If we can actually win this and keep our car off the wall, I will be a very, very, very happy virtual man. Keep the speed. There we go. We're doing well so far. Come on, we got this. We got this. Come on. Oh man, this car though. This car is not happy with us. It's like, I told you, I don't like being in the wet. But we don't have too much of an option. We need to carry speed. We need to carry some speed through these corners and just try to get up to the leader. Right now they're pace matching us. We haven't really been able to make any inroads on their lead. But I do want to try to get past them if possible. Pass on the outside, under braking. Nope, that did not end well. Yeah, that's gonna slow us down on the main straight. Come on. Come on. Come on, come on, come on, come on. We got this. We've got this. Alright, we're gonna brake just on the slight uphill section of this turn. Kind of coast. Or not. Okay, we need to gain a lot of time now. That is a lot of time lost. That is a couple of seconds lost. And when you're gaining like tenths of a second a lap, that is big. Come on, let's try to gain that back. Make sure we don't lose any traction on the Dunlop curves. That is very tricky. The car, I don't know if it's just because I'm trying now to catch up with the leader more or what, but we're losing a lot of time. The car definitely feels a lot worse. Come on, I was half throttle there. Oh man, this car is terrifying. Alright, let's at least get back up to second. If we can go a single lap without spinning on a corner exit, that would be very, very nice. It would also be very nice if the game would give me a track other than the wet Tsukuba or a Tsukuba circuit. It has multiple configurations in this game. Not that you know it, with the game constantly giving you the wet version right now, when the slipperiest car as well. Okay. Yeah, there is a night version, there is a dry version, and there's reverse versions of all those different weather patterns as well. But right now, it's just been wet. And this car is a BMW 3-liter CSL, the Group 5 touring car from the late 70s and early 80s. Lots of power, not a lot of grip. Either aero grip or mechanical grip, so it's very, very slidey. It'll spin if you're on throttle. It'll spin if you're off throttle. It'll spin if you turn too hard. It'll spin if you're too late on the brakes. It'll spin if you lock at the brakes. It'll spin if you brake too late. It is a vehicle that just, if you try to push it just the tiniest bit faster than what it can do, it'll spin. And that is exacerbated by the very, very slick, very wet, very slidey track that we are on right now at Tsukuba Circuit in Japan. It is a real track in real life. Most famous for not only hosting many challenges from Best Motoring, one of sort of Japan's, almost could be considered Japan's top gear, for lack of better words, in terms of automotive significance in that country. But also hosting a lot of like super lap battle and club level races. Very, very. There's pretty much not a single weekend during the motorsport season in Japan where Tsukuba Circuit is not in use. It is a very, very popular track. It is, which is why it's in so many, especially so many Japanese racing games, because it is basically Japan's, like, well, it's not the highest grade or with the most impressive facilities. It is basically the track that is like the most well known within Japan as the track, the Japanese track. And also, with it not being an FIA Grade 1 track, it is a bit cheaper as well to license compared to Fuji or Suzuka. So in that regards, it does make it more of a tempting prospect for Japanese developers to put it in their racing games compared to those other two tracks, because it is a bit cheaper. That and the shorter distance means that it can be fun in fast cars and in slow cars as well, pretty much up to a certain point. Basically, this can probably handle GT4 and TCR touring cars without too much issue. But anything faster than that, and the track may begin to feel a bit cramped. But up until that level of performance, you should be mostly fine with hosting like virtual events on this track than like, let's say, iRacing or something. But anything faster, and you're definitely going to be, it's going to get a lot more difficult because the track is going to get very, very claustrophobic, or very, very quick, very, very tight. The track itself is already very tight, very technical, lots of hairpin turns, and very, very easy to make mistakes on. Despite it being a relatively easy track to learn, it does punish mistakes very quite harshly. Like right there, I braked super, super late for the corner, and you can see there I did lose a decent amount of time trying to kind of gain more time on the two third and second place in front of me. I think that hairpin, that tighter hairpin, may actually be better taken in third gear and just kind of bog down a little bit through that corner. I don't know if we'll be able to make a position up, but we are gaining on second and third though. Fourth will at least get us points, but with our ranking currently being affected by this vehicle's and our poor driving, we can't afford to let any points go to waste. Although I do see them fighting quite a bit. The third place car is definitely trying to push for position. Nope, we lost it. Okay, cool, fun. Any and all time we gained, we just lost right there in that corner because getting ever so slightly too aggressive on the throttle. Yippee. Yeah, this car, it's a little bit not great on the corners. Very, very slidey. But we will keep pushing. We will keep trying. And hopefully we'll at least have a semi-clean race, enough to get this vehicle leveled up just a little bit more. Alright, easy. Easy. Car wants to spin on me on the big turn. Okay, fourth it is. That is not great, but not terrible. That is okay. That is okay. we are learning. We are learning this car. We are learning this car. Is it true that if you die in your dream, you die in real life? Because I have my dreams a lot. Well, if you're still living, then you probably haven't. It's probably not true that you if you die in your dream, you die in real life. Also, welcome to the stream. Oh, we're getting very close to the danger zone. If our ranking drops below 200, we won't be able to do any races with the BMW. Thankfully, the next track is low in searing. Oh boy. At least this track is not wet. We should have a cleaner race here. We should have a faster race here. We should be able to do much better. We should be able to actually win this. And maybe get another upgrade for our vehicles. Because this is a very tricky car. All of these cars are the Group 5 BMWs. And while they are very, very fast in a straight line and have decent cornering on the high-speed corners, it's the very tight corners that these cars definitely struggle a lot in. Because they don't have a whole lot of mechanical grip. They have a decent amount of aero grip for their performance level. But their mechanical grip, especially in the slow speed corners, it leaves a lot to be desired. This is definitely one of the most difficult cars to drive in the game, at least in terms of the racing class. Very, very, very tricky. I don't even think the M1 Pro car is this tricky to drive. This car just wants to slide out from you quite a bit. But we are driving on the kitty cat. Right now we're kind of heading to the front paw. Here we go. Very, very tight hairpin. I'm going to take this in third gear and just kind of bog the engine down just a little bit, so I can actually get onto the throttle earlier and not spin my wheels. Oh, jeez. And you see there, like, if the car even begins to slide, you have to immediately go, like, full opposite lock, full counter steering, so that you don't spin. Because beforehand, it is a very... If you don't catch it immediately, the car will spin no matter how much you try to counteract it. No amount of brakes, no amount of, like, you know, clutch kicking or anything like that. No matter amount of trying to attempt a weight transfer will get the car to kind of get back straight. If it spins, if it begins to spin and you don't catch it quick enough, which is normally instantaneously, yeah, the car's going to spin. It's a very old, very slippery race car. And it's terrifying to think about how vehicles, how racing cars, even before the Group 5 touring cars performed. Because some of them, you know, were on the bias ply tires, not even radials. Or the pre-war cars with the tiny little, like, bicycle tires as well, trying to find grip. Oh my gosh, that would have been... It's gotta be terrifying to drive some of those vehicles. Thankfully, at least with this, with the massive rear slicks, it does have a little bit of grip on the high speed corners when the aero is beginning to kind of push the car into the ground and everything. But in the low speed corners, it makes a little bit too much power for the chassis and for the tires to handle. So it gets very, very, very tail happy. It likes to shake its booty. Nice and easy through the hairpins on the ears of the kitty cat. And I'm basically staying in a fairly high gear for these corners so I can get onto the throttle. Because if you go off throttle on these downhill hairpins completely, the car will want to turn in like that. So you gotta have just the slightest bit of throttle to keep the car mostly neutral handling. But if you get too much throttle at low speeds with the low gears, it's gonna light up the rear wheels instead, and you're gonna break traction that way. So you need to be in a higher gear so you can put a little bit of torque to the ground, but not too much. Because the power band kind of kicks in right around the 6,000 RPM range. It is a very, very peaky engine. So lower RPMs, it doesn't make a whole lot of power. But once you get to the higher RPMs, it's making quite a bit. The upper 300s, the lower 400s, depending on trim. And it is, ooh, very, very slidey. The tail end likes to come out from behind. You gotta watch ourselves here. Oh, easy. Alright, getting a little bit of understeer on that corner. Corner is slightly off camber on the back foot of the cat. Oh, easy. Easy, easy, easy. Gotta be careful. Now onto the tail of the cat. There we go. Caught that early enough. Managed to save it. In the dry though, the car isn't too bad. It's at least predictably slidey. In the wet though, I've taken a corner, the same way, and one time it completely spun. The other time it only got just a little bit squirrely. So it just entirely depends. It's a lot more random in just how much it wants to try to kill you. But in the dry with the upgrades we have on it now, in the settings we've done, it's at least manageable. Still incredibly difficult to drive, and I am like, you know, maybe only giving it about 80-ish%. So I am not trying to like full speed this at all. We're trying to go like, you know, balls to the wall in this car, because if you go, the car will handle 100% of its capabilities. But as soon as you go 101%, like other vehicles, yeah, you'll get a little bit out of shape. You'll get a little bit slidey. You know, the rear end will, you know, get a little bit sketchy. But you go 101% in this car, and you will be in the wall or facing the wrong way. Or both. And it's just very, very, very difficult. Because you're seeing that, you can see a little bit with how the wheels are turning with the VGS system in the front, the visual center of gravity, or the visual. It's basically is a visual center of gravity. It's not what VGS stands for, but it basically kind of shows you how the weight is being shifted in the vehicle, where the weight is, how much grip each of the tires is using up as the tires begin to get, you know, more and more kind of a grayish color. And then if you brake traction, you see them kind of get highlighted in red to showcase they're past the traction limits. And you see right now, the rear inside tire is just barely using a little bit of grip until I get onto the throttle, onto the straight, and it begins to use a bit more of its grip. But we are sliding through the vast majority of these corners, basically right at the limits of grip, trying not to get the car all out of shape. And oh boy. It's tricky. This is a tricky one. Well, we have one more corner complex left. It's the backwards Radion corner. Let's make sure we hit this just right. Up to 5th gear for a little bit of stability. Lift off with just a little bit of turn and back on the throttle for the uphill section. Carry the speed to the outside. There we go. There we go. Alright, that's a solid victory. Thankfully. Oh my word. That was a tricky one. That was a very, very tricky one. At least we won that one though. That'll be good for our rankings. That'll definitely help us a little bit. Car gets upgraded as well. That should be good enough for, I think, 2 upgrades. Yeah, there we go. Power's increased, weight's been reduced, so the vehicle will be a bit more nimble. That's good. Nice. Our ranking has improved. And we have a couple of empty slots now that we can kind of fill up, because those empty slots are from DNFs. Ooh. The backwards low end steering course. Thank you, game. I love this one. Dripping with sarcasm right now. This course, while it's very, very fun in its forward configuration, the reverse configuration is very, very difficult because the final turn becomes the first turn here. And while you can see it fairly well going the opposite direction, you're basically entering this corner entirely blind. Entirely blind. Yes, you're entering it blind. You're entering it entirely blind here, and you only have the faintest idea as to where exactly the corner kind of begins, and where you need to go, and how to transfer weight through the corner as well, because the car wants to spin on you. All the weight gets pushed to the front wheels, which means the rear gets very light, very easy to spin. A little bit on the stone corner exit there, that's fine. Now in real life motorsport, most tracks only can be raced in one configuration, or one direction. If you try, mainly because it has to do with the runoff design of those courses. What may be a safe corner to enter with the proper, distance to the barriers and proper runoff for the vehicles if the brakes fail or what have you. Going one direction may be entirely unsafe a different direction, because you're approaching corners at entirely different speeds from the other direction. I think there's only one real-life course that is sanctioned by the FIA for international events that is run in both directions, and that I believe is Knockhill Circuit in Scotland. I think that's one of the only courses that can be run in both directions. As an FIA, which is basically the global governing body of motorsports. They're the ones that certify tracks, certify drivers and everything, certify even international events, so that things have a bit more standards within each other. Safety features and everything are kind of shared. They even certify helmets as well for racing drivers. Oh gosh. Come on. Let's go. Passenger side right rear wheel was spinning even in third gear. Alright, I need to get those places back. I want at least a solid points finish. Fourth will get you points, but I do want a little bit more points than fourth. So let's try to gain some time back on the opponents. We can go a little bit faster than through the bank turn. So we do have our car set up for higher speed, higher downforce sections. Those slight hairpins, I may need to approach them in third gear, just to keep the rear wheels from spinning too much. I'm gonna brake around the 100-meter mark, down to the fourth gear. Nope. Please, 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 game, car. Okay, we need to gain even more time on the leaders now. That's fine. Oh, this car is dreadful to drive though. I can't wait till this is level 10, so I can move on to something different. Okay, nice and easy through here. We can gain a little bit of time on the cat's feet and the cat's belly. I think we usually are a little bit quicker than the AI those corners, so we can probably gain at least a few seconds there. We can gain another like 2 or 3 seconds coming off of the cat's face, the banked turn. But the main two spots we're losing time is the backwards radion and the cat's ears. Everything else we're doing okay at. Like, we're already gaining time on third place. But even then, oh gosh, that is a tricky corner. Complex? Really? Please? Game? Let's try to keep the car nice and balanced through these corners. Let's make sure we avoid any wheel spin. Trying to get this car all nice and sorted. We did gain 3 seconds on the leader, which is good. Come on, gotta get a little bit of speed on the uphill section here though. But I can't break traction like that. The car wants to spin even in third gear with the slightest bit of throttle. It just kind of goes to show just how powerful and how little grip this vehicle actually has. Very not great. That's fine. That's fine. We are learning. We're getting a little bit better. Let's make sure we actually get the corner. This corner coming up just right. Brake at the 100 meter, down in the fourth gear. Hit the apex, hit the apex. You basically need to know exactly where the apexes are, because if you wait till you see them, you are going to wreck. You basically need to take a shot in the dark and just hope you're correct. Or memorize the course by heart and know you were correct, one or the other. There is no reaction, there is no anticipation, visual anticipation anyway. It is basically, yeah, good luck. You know where it is, right? You know exactly what speed you need to go. You know exactly how to balance brakes and throttle through this corner. If you don't, well, there's the wall. See you there, buddy. We're gaining a little bit of time now. We should, at this rate, we should be able to catch up to third by the end of the lap and at least get a podium position. Maybe if this car can stop trying to kill us. Full on opposite lock to that corner. Jeez, I'm doing more drifting in this car than I was in my Need for Speed Underground 2 or 1 playthroughs. This is just a very, very tail happy car. Alright, a little bit of contact with the opponent. Kind of push him wide just a little bit. Rubbing is racing after all. Alright, here we go. We're gonna stay in 4th gear through these hairpins because this is a bit beyond that pale. The fact that the car wants to spin even in 3rd gear. We're gonna really kind of bog the engine down going up to these corners. There we go. Okay, so 4th gear is the way to go through this. You basically just need to baby the car through the corners and then try to carry some speed out of there. We might actually get 2nd place into the slipstream. Alright, time to overtake. There we go. Yes, there we go. Beautiful. Sweet. Okay. Whew. Oh, we managed to survive that with a decent position. Wow. Hey, we got a very nice amount of points at least. And our ranking did improve as well, which is good. Okay, 2 more levels to go, which should probably mean about 2 or 3. Ooh, hey, look, Tsukuba Circuit that isn't wet. Oh my gosh, it only took what, 12 races to finally get this into rotation. Thank you, game. I get to actually enjoy driving this now in this car. Very, very nice. Thank you, game. Thank you, game. Alright, let's go. Oh, it's not like on the verge of traction even when your entire gear higher than what you normally is supposed to be in a car that can actually grip the corner. Oh, this actually feels good to drive. Yes, please. More of this game. There we go. Easy on corner exit. Now I gotta be careful in this corner. It is slightly off camber, and this corner does have a slightly less traction on the track compared to the other corners. So you do need to be just a little bit careful. Gotta brake on the uphill section. There isn't a whole lot of elevation change But what elevation change there is, you can use a bit to your advantage. Because braking just before the uphill section can allow the car to kind of really slow down a lot quicker than braking at or just after the uphill section. Which is very, very good. Very, very nice. Very, very useful if you're in a very fast car with not the best brakes as well. To kind of use that as your braking point. And then adjust from there. Get the car turned into the hairpin. You gotta be very patient with this course as well. The course does punish impatience very, very harshly. Every corner is a fairly late apex corner. And also you gotta make sure you don't get on the throttle too early as well. Because then you will understeer on corner exit. In the dry anyway, in the wet you'll just spin. There we go. Oh, I didn't quite regain traction there. Alright, time to gain that position back. That's fine. That is perfectly fine. Alright, come on, we can at least push for the lead this time around though. We do have a little bit more grip. Nice and easy. Alright, we're about 1.25 seconds, well, 1.25 seconds exactly from first place. Saved it. Save the spin there. Occasionally you can save a spin by downshifting and just full opposite locking and then full acceleration. You can kind of almost pull out of the slide. But it is a bit risky as well because you do run the risk of instead spinning the exact opposite way. Which is why I usually try not to do that in the wet. Really? Alright, come on. We need to go a little bit faster. We are losing plenty of time here with making a few mistakes. There we go. That's a good exit onto the main straight. Yep, you're blocking us. I see that. Taking the super slow defensive line through the corner. So we're going to lose even more time to the leader. That's fine. We'll just pass you going into the tight hairpin here. Nope, you'll run a defensive line there. Don't care, pushing you out of the way. You are being hyper defensive, I'll be hyper aggressive. Come on, let's get out of the corner. Be very, very gentle. The car does look very beautiful at night, though. Looks very, very pretty. It's got the iconic BMW livery with the two blue and the red stripes. Oh, the light blue, the dark blue. Some might say it's purple, but the light blue, the dark blue, and the red stripe. I guess it is kind of purplish, purple-blue coloring. Easy through here. gotta be very, very careful now. We're gaining back the time we lost against the leader. Leader is now just outside of striking distance. We can see them. We can get a little bit of a draft on the longer straight. We can really kind of push. Yeah, go ahead. Run a defensive line. Run a defensive line, buddy. That's only going to slow you. Okay. Thank you, game. This way, please. Okay. Well, that was dreadful. My apologies. I just need to get this to level 10. I just need to get this to level 10. Yeah, 6. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. All right. And we need two more levels. Nürburgring. That's fine. We can handle the Nürburgring. Ironically, that has been the easiest track to run on just because it has the least amount of, like, super tight, obnoxiously so tight corners. And there's a lot more higher speed corners, which the CSL can get. That's one of the few types of corners it can actually handle. So, here we go. Oh, this is going to turn into a mess. I already know you're going to dive bomb me. Just do it. Or not. Okay, come on, turn around. Great. All right, recovery drive. Let's do this. Big push. Gotta be very, very careful with this car. Alright. Pass on the inside here, over the bridge. I'm too far away to pass on the braking into Flugplatz, but I can try. Saved it. There we go. Alright. Full push. Let's go. Let's get that lead back. And we got into an incident with the AI very, very early. Save the spin. There we go. Big push. Come on. Let's actually do a recovery try. I feel let's actually get into the lead. I see first place way up ahead. Heavy on the steer there. Locked at the fronts just a little bit. I think after this race, we should probably decrease the gear ratios even further. Set the car a bit more towards top speed, so we're putting a little bit less torque through the rear, the wheels under acceleration. Because we did have a couple power upgrades, and I think the power upgrades affected the vehicle a lot more than the handling upgrades. It still feels very, very slidey under the slow and mid-speed acceleration. Okay, there we go. Little bit of a tire off track. That is okay. Be very careful through here. I'm in like hyper concentration mode right now, trying to keep this car stable. Come on, let's actually do a recovery drive. Within a second of the leader, there you are. A slight contact on corner exit. That's fine. Let's pull away. Let's dominate this race. Minor spin, an early one. Not gonna let that affect us. Let's go. Big push. I gotta remember that this left-hander coming up, you cannot take flat out. You do need to tap the brakes just a little bit beforehand. There we go. Alright, this is a third gear corner. Fairly tight hairpin. There we go. Good job. Alright, next is the carousel, one of the slowest corners on the track. Thankfully it is banked. So you can use the banking to kind of get yourself up through there. There we go. Very nice. Okay. I gotta watch the souls. This is where the track gets very bumpy. Very easy to lose control of your vehicle through here. Gotta be very, very careful. Ooh, easy. Okay. Easy, easy, easy. Come on, we got this. Let's get the rest of the lap. Let's make it very clean, very smooth. We may have a shot at this. Nope. Easy. Come on, get back under control. There we go. Okay, back to normal. Ooh, just a little bit of slip angle there. Oh, right on the edge, right on the limits of control of this car. Oh, man. Okay, good. We made it through the worst. Now the 1.2 mile long straight. Get the car up to its maximum speed of around 170 miles an hour. It is going to be brutally quick. Because this car, while it doesn't have the best handling, it does have a very, very powerful engine. Very, very good top speed. Very, very fast. Come on. Nice and easy. Here we go. Alright. Buckle down. Long straight ahead. Oh, the speed of this car, though. It's so fast. It sounds nice, too. You have the 167 miles an hour. Almost 170 miles an hour top speed. Very, very quick. 9,000 RPM redline as well. Very, very, very high revving engine. Very high power engine, too. Alright. Little bit on the brakes. You just want to barely graze the brakes. Be very smooth going to these corners. Oh, yay. That was good. That was a recovery drive. That was a very difficult recovery drive. We managed to make it work. We got victory. which is good. We needed that. That should allow us to level up, I think, to level 10. Not quite. Okay, one more race. One more complete race to level up to level 10. Oh, good. And our ranking is doing okay now. Our ranking is back to where it was previously, which is good. And oh, fun. Yep, I am definitely making some adjustments first before that. I am definitely making some adjustments. Another wet Tsukuba. I want more max speed. There we go. That's better. Alright. Nice. Here we go. Wet Tsukuba. Oh, we had of all the times Tsukuba was in the rotation, we had one dry Tsukuba. Fun. Nice and easy. There we go. Yeah, the increase in gear ratios for higher speed is definitely helping right now, I think. Nice and easy. We actually do have a lead, thankfully. Come on. Gotta be very, very gentle with the... Oh, here. Come on. Full opposite lock and it's still turning inwards. There we go. That's a little bit better. Nice and smooth. Now onto the throttle. There we go. Let's make sure we stay into the lead. Nice and easy. Nice and easy. There we go. Okay. We're able to keep the car under us just for a little bit. We're doing alright. Be very, very, very careful here. Oh boy, nice and easy. My car is handling a lot better though. It's finally feeling like an actual race car with the tier 3 tire upgrades. But man, was it difficult getting there. Nice and easy. The car. Oh dear. All right, we're taking the bike loop. We're taking the bike chicane. Why not? Oh gosh. I know BMW makes motorcycles, but this is most certainly not a motorcycle. Nice and easy. Gotta be very careful. Alright, onto the throttle. Very, very, very careful. Very, very careful. We do have a lead. It's not a big lead, but we do have a lead. Be very, very smooth with the car. Take everything very slowly. A new fastest lap, that is good. See, as slow is smooth is fast. Gotta be gentle with the car. Slowly kind of squeeze the trigger, squeeze the throttle, squeeze the brakes. There we go. Be very careful with the car. Okay. Alright. Man, this is a long race too. It's a 10-minute endurance race. I mean, for a single event, you know, 10 minutes is reasonably long. Especially in a very slippery car in the wet. Very tricky. Oh man. This car is super. Careful. Gotta be very careful here. Nice and easy. There we go. Beautiful. It sounds beautiful though. I am gonna partially miss the car, but I'm not gonna miss how it handled. Not one bit. I'm gonna miss how it sounded though. The car sounds amazing. It sounds even better in real life as well if you've ever watched or listened to the vehicles. Oh my gosh, the inline 6 of this car is very, very, very nice. I got three laps to go. Come on. Nice and easy, Isaac. Okay. Almost 2 to go. Car's being nice. You're being nice to the car. You're getting along. You've slowly become friends. You have settled your differences. You're slowly getting faster lap times as well. Almost drift around that corner there. That's fine. Very nice, very gentle. Oh, okay. We're taking Joker lap. Joker lap. I'm surprised Tsukuba. Granted, I don't know how they'd fit it. It'd be difficult. But it'd be cool to have like a rallycross course at Tsukuba as well. You could have the motorcycle chicane act as like the Joker lap and stuff. Yeah, but I don't think there's space to fit a rallycross course at Tsukuba. Although there's enough pea gravel here to do that. Oh, that went horribly wrong. That went horribly wrong. No. Thank you, game. Alright, let's at least get third place and try to level up this car. Please. After 11 or so minutes, I want the final upgrade, please. Please, game. And stop giving me wet Tsukuba. Is it at least over? Do I at least get to pick a different vehicle? The Miata, we leveled up to level 10 like that. Super quick. No, with this... Oh, please, let that be enough. Oh, yay. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Okay, yeah. Yeah, ranking. I don't care about ranking right now. I just want to get rid of this vehicle. Don't get me wrong, it's a beautiful car with a massive, very, very storied history. Very, very cool. But it is a very not fun vehicle. So let's change our car. Back to the compact. We have two choices here. We have the Toyota Fun Cargo and the Toyota Volts. So we have two choices. Two choices. Let's get the random number generator back up. Okay, we are in the Volts. Nice. Something with a little bit of power. It's also sort of the Pontiac vibe as well. Same chassis. It was basically a joint project. You kind of see, if you look at the grille a little bit, kind of the little bit of the Pontiac symbol there. You have two color choices. Great. Yeah, ranking number drop. That is okay. That is fine. That is okay. Oh, man. Oh, let's at least get the settings for this vehicle all set up before tomorrow. Well, not tomorrow, but the next time we drive this vehicle. That back, and just a little bit of lock, just the ever so slight lock. There we go. And make sure we save as well. The last thing we need is to completely, you know, lose or save data because some dumb VTuber totally forgot to save his game. Totally never happened to me. Don't know what you're talking about. There we go. With that being said, thank you all so much for watching. I do appreciate it. If you enjoyed the stream, do be sure to leave a like, subscribe, let me know what I'm doing well in the comments below. If you didn't like the stream, do be sure to let me know what I did poorly so I could fix that in the future. If you have any idea of how to actually drive that Group 5 BMW, please tell me. Because, oh my gosh, that car is, at least in my hands, untrackable. So many setting adjustments, so much, even fully upgraded, it just does not like me at all. But that being said though, it was still a fun stream. I really enjoyed driving the Miata. With that being said, again, thank you all so much for watching. I've been Umbras, and wherever you are in the world, whatever time of day it is for you, I do hope it is a great time. And I hope to see you on the next stream tomorrow. Until then, take care everyone. Bye bye!